모두 다 내주면서 결국 이렇게 되면 올킬을 기록하면서
한국과 동남아전의 한국의 6연패는
야 이거 큰일 났다 이런 생각도 좀 들었고요. 한국 선수들이 너무 얕봤다.
저도 사실 이렇게 연패할 줄은 몰랐는데
좋은 모습을 못 보여드려서 아쉬운 부분이 많이 있어요.
这一次就是我们的队员上面也是有换了一些新队员。
Itulah yang membuat kita bisa, I think we can do better, be better in season 2.
세게 한 대 얻어맞았기 때문에 이번 동남아전은 확실하게 다른 모습을 보여줘야 되겠죠.
We are preparing for many decks.
다 파악이 됐기 때문에 충분히 이길 수 있을 것 같아요.
이제 저희도 준비를 많이 해서 대만 팀이랑 시합을 해도 손색이 없다고 생각합니다.
Our goal is beat them all.
Saya pasti menang melawan mereka dan saya optimis menang untuk melawan mereka.
이번 주도 열심히 준비해가지고 서력을 꼭 하겠습니다.
Welcome everyone to the 2018 CRL Asia Season 2. My name is Joel Sophie. Joining with me is going to be G-Clip, and we're back for another exciting week we have for you guys for CRL Asia, as we're still moving on with the competitive format between multiple regions abroad, and we're going to get Korea and Southeast Asia back again. And last time around, it was a pretty chaotic one. Went to a lot of deficits against Korea.
Yeah, for the first 2 days, Korea lost everything. 6-0 for Southeast Asia, and then the final day, Korea won the rest of the 2 matches. So 6-2, that was 2 weeks ago, Joe, and we're in week 6, half through the entire season. So we'll have to see. We'll get a standing screen very soon. We'll get to see which teams are slightly going on at the top, which teams are falling to the bottom. We'll get to see that as well. But seems like Korea is doing okay. But the other regions, Japan and Southeast Asia, they're the most competitive compared to Korea.
And it seems like we only have other teams to really look at when it comes to what Korea has been doing in the past couple of weeks. It's mostly been about Southeast Asia really writing a new story for themselves in this Season 2, and they're looking like a better region than maybe even Korea put together, because last time you do talk about that 2 wins that came through at the very last day for Korea, but otherwise it was a clear win over to Southeast Asia over the Korean region. So we do come back into the week 6 and really wonder whether this will happen again, because it seems like Korea, only with Kingzone kind of up front, other teams are not finding the same amount of success.
Not the same, as you can see at the bottom. Ojin is actually not playing today, so we'll take a look at top 1, 2, 3. Kingzone, Sandbox, OP Gaming. And then on the other side, we'll have Bren, Esports, Chaos Theory, and Kicks going against the Korea. Japanese actually having a break this week. They will be back next weekend. So they have a very similar story, 5-2, Ponos and Kingzone. They're the ones on top, but look at Southeast Asia, how competitive they are. 3s and 4s all around.
And just look at what Bren Esports has kind of put up onto. They're a bottom 2 team, considering the fact that they still have a winning record of 4-3. That is a spectacular competitive the region that we have in Southeast Asia, and that's the matchup we're gonna get. As you can see on the screen, OP Gaming going up against Bren Esports for our first matchup of the night, and Sandbox going up against Chaos Theory, with Kingzone going up against Kicks for our last matchup of the night. And today's matchup looks very interesting because we've seen these matchups before just 2 weeks ago, and we'll get to see it again. We'll see if anything changed for Korea.
We will get to see a little difference, I think, because last weekend, especially Southeast Asia, they were having some trouble on that 2v2, but once that was fixed in the first couple days, they actually finished with a 5-3, a slight better result for Japan. Southeast Asia, they were actually not that bad for their 2v2, which there has been the power source in Season 1, but the opposite in the beginning of Season 2.
And I think we'll get to hear from what the players had to say over this past weekend, because it's been an interesting week so far. We'll see what the players have to say. But, before we get to that, we're going to get to the players first, exactly what we're going to be hearing from them. And OP Gaming, we've seen them already all throughout Season 2, looking like a better team than they were compared to Season 1, but with obviously Jin TV and Dabong TV really rising up to the occasion, Sungwon and Uchan has been doing well on the 2v2 aspect of things, and this team is looking a lot better, hopefully better than their counterparts tonight.
Yeah, compared to the last season, which they placed 9th, they finished 9th last time, getting no chance to go to the playoff, even the semi, the wild card. But this time, Oki looking a lot better, still 3rd from local, so they have a lot of mountain, a lot of long journey to actually go ahead. But they're still 3rd, and they can get a lot done. They lost both against Kicks and Chaos Series both of the time last time against Southeast. Team Bren Esports is a new team they have to go up against. Let's see if they can get their first win against Southeast Asia.
You see the 4 players kind of standing up just to see who's going to be starting for OP Gaming, but here are their opponents. We know them all too well now. A team that has a winning record but still stands at the bottom ranking of their region is going to be Bren Esports, looking fantastic as they did from the beginning of Season 1, but they're doing a lot longer this time around, G-Clip, looking very strong for Season 2.
I would say they're the bandits in this league because they beat Kingzone, they beat Gamewin, they beat all the strong teams, and they somehow go all the way to King of the Hill, or not even all the way to the 3rd set, and then lose against the weaker team in the standings. So in terms of that, I would actually call them the good bandits in a way, changing up a lot of the standings within the other regions.
And we'll see if Bren Esports can hold up against, obviously, OP Gaming that hasn't been the best team around, but still a middle of the pack when it comes to the Korean team, still competing trying to be the best region that they can. But we are gonna get the starting roster for both of these teams here. Chashu and Seungwon gonna be starting it off on that 2v2 for OP Gaming. Banning out the Giant Skeleton is gonna be interesting ban. We're gonna see Giant and Noim Sai for Bren Esports. Banning out the Tornado, very much expected with set 2 with Dabong TV against Manong GP. Banning out the Ice Golem and the Bandit.
Yeah, Ice Golem Manong GP uses a lot of Rogue Giants, not Rogue Giant, Rogue Ghost and Ice Golem together. And it's a snipe man. Rascal's not as much. I think that came in a lot with the barrel. That's the reason why. So both snipe bands, and also we do the snipe band once again. Tornado is a common one, but Giant Skeleton has been used by many different Southeast Asian teams in that 2v2. Not the double one, just one Giant Skeleton as a defensive tool, and then they would just suddenly have a balloon or something like that. So I think that's a smart band against Southeast Asia all the time.
And we will see Jin TV and Trainer Ken for their respective teams for that 4th player slot in case we do go to that set 3 King of the Hill. But OP Gaming, I'm sure they really want to finish this out in a 2-set order, because the more and more you give the wins over to Southeast Asia, further cements the fact that Korea's not looking as good as it used to be anymore. And you know, we are going to start the 2v2 very soon, G-Clip, but last time around we did see that Southeast Asia looked the stronger opposition altogether. It doesn't matter which team to compare, but we'll see how OP Gaming does today. We got Chasha and Seungwon winning the lineup.
And this duo is actually their first time on stage. They had a lot of other pairs with Uichan Dabong TV together, and lots of Uichan Chashu, Uichan Seungwon, but Uichan's not here today, surprisingly. So we do have the new pair with Chashu and Seungwon banning that Giant Skeleton. Let's see how they actually show on stage, because Giant and Noim Sai, they have been the duo forever for this team.
Ever since Season 1, these guys are sticking around, Giant and Noim Sai. They put their hearts up, they know exactly what this stage means to them, because last time around, it did bring them lots of wins. When it comes to set wins, they got them. When it came to the whole series win, they got them as well. So coming into this game against OP Gaming, knowing that they're not the strongest Korean team around, I think that Bren Esports is expecting another win.
Yep, I think that's very likely, but they had some early game mistakes. The very first game especially, like having both the spells, or spell plus the electric wizard. They had a lot of those anti-synergy sometimes. Getting rid of those at the very beginning seems very important for them.
And let's get into game number 1 between these two teams to see whether Southeast Asia is coming back to Korea to put the dominance on once again. Bren Esports going against OP Gaming. And here we go for the opening matchup between our two teams. Bren Esports coming from Southeast Asia, going up against OP Gaming from Korea. We're going to start off with the Royal Hogs double lumberjacks just to get both sides through. That's a lot of elixir expended just to get that defense.
Even for their second cycle, because without the both lumberjack, they're not going to have the rage, which doesn't really pair up with the golem. So next one might not be the best one for OP Gaming for now.
Zappy's doing a fantastic job of mitigating the lumberjacks coming through. We're going to see the very heavy push already starting off, and that cannon cart already starting to connect with the miner. So that left tower taking a lot of damage. I think it might be gone, I should do say. Just a few more shots, one more cannon. That ought to do it. Now this golden push from the right side has to be all or nothing.
Okay, the
for the side of
Dragon
Gaming.
actually connects to the shield and the dark. And the golem straight marching to the tower just to make good news. And the lumberjack connecting, so that's going to be tower. They want to make it into a 3-crown rush. I don't think so. Not right now.
Well, at least for the first push for both teams, they did get a 1 crown each, though. Getting further damage is going to be OP Gaming with this Mega Minion doing a pretty good job of putting out extended damage over to that King's Tower. We'll see what the extended pushes come about.
So when you have the Tombstone, you know your golem's going to be dragged, so you do need to have the placement. Here we go. Yeah, this giant snowball seems a lot better than the one that just hit the tower.
Yeah, it was a lot more valuable this time around, but still gets a lot of value through, especially with Ewiz doing so much work onto that tower. 554 on the right side now. Has to go for the opposite side for the side of OP Gaming with this golem and lumberjack push.
Yeah, it's going to be a very slow one, and we do have a lot of time. It's actually a very aggressive game.
It's on the right side, the Royal Hogs coming in, and even with the Tombstone, with all this Ewiz trying to mitigate the damage, it does a pretty good job. Actually takes very minimal hits from all that, and so the lumberjack will go down. The golem will have the explosives right outside the tower, so not as much damage as wanted right there for OP Gaming.
Factory just in time, the sprints will actually do nothing in this case. They were trying to push to the mass. Once you know you don't have to push, you shouldn't really put the backup right after when they're dead. So I think OP Gaming's right. We're really rushing this push right now, which they should have just stopped and defended.
And with 30 seconds left to go, we do have one tower still standing for the side of Noim Sai and Jai. Bren Esports really looking to take this win right now, and right here, that Tombstone further slowing down this Golem in.
Yeah,
We're going to
17
see this
seconds.
going through and see if we can get a win right here for OP Gaming.
Yeah, don't need the Tombstone when you have the
That's it.
cannon card going into cannon.
Oh, but a Lumberjack. Lumberjack,
They
we're going to
actually
see
get
this as
in
the
the
log.
range.
Everything
5
just
seconds.
trying to get through, but I don't think that's going to be it. 769 on the tower is still going to be standing strong for OP Gaming, seemingly having a hard time beating through that defense. And it seems like Bren Esports getting that game 1 victory, looking very happy for themselves.
So OP Gaming had 2 choices. Do we actually want to defend against the Hogs, which we don't have a good card against, we don't have anything to drag into the middle like the bomb tower, or the fireball in this case. They had poison, lots of snowballs, but that doesn't really quite cut it. So instead, they had their own attack with the Golem Double Prince. It is not as fast. Hogs run so much faster directly to the towers. I think that was the moment they decided, okay, let's just have a push, see what happens. But they were just not as fast.
And you were opting for the fact that OP Gaming had a really deck countered against them. They're not really having any answers for those Royal Hogs every single rotation around. So good enough pressure from the side of Bren Esports, just enough that we will get a timeout from OP Gaming. So not really happy for how they played that first set around. Really wanting to get that second game a little bit better this time around.
Kind of weird to have no fireball at all when tornadoes ban, and you kind of expect, very likely in this meta, that Royal Hogs are just going to come out all the time. You have to at least have a key answer against it, and then you can build your deck around it. There are many different ways with the Golem Double Prince. Or you just need a fireball sometimes, or a bomb tower, or some kind of good structure in the middle.
We know that basically when you compare the fireball and the poison in this current meta, the poison has been lackluster in terms of the effective usage, because it now can knock back all these flying units, especially for the Infernal Dragon and Balloon combined. And you can really knock the most powerful card currently in the game with the Royal Hogs. Very easy counter with the fireball, not as so much with the poison. So, you know, if the fireball was banned out, it is understandable that you would go with poison. But when it is available for both, one would see the fireball as more effective for that same 4 elixirs.
For sure. I think maybe with the Giant Skeleton ban for their side, because Bren Esports, they did play lots of Double Prince Golem, they just wanted to have a better push with double Lumberjack. Maybe they were hoping that for that deck to come out, but when you actually do not know 100% what's going to come out, you just have to have something in your back pocket, like the Fireball, always to have a defense against those cards. But it was not the case for OP Gaming. Let's see if they bring a better one this time in Game 2.
For all what we saw from that Game 1, I think the OP Gaming should be ready now with that timeout, extended minute now over to really see whether this Game 2 will bring a lot more pleasurable experience for OP Gaming after they did lose that first game in a pretty convincing fashion. So, Jai, and we're also looking at Noim Sai to see if these 2 players from Bren Esports can do it once again and close out the set 1 in this 2v2 format against OP Gaming. Let's get into game number 2. After that first one, Giant and Noim Sai, whatever deck they bring out, they will bring it out with a lot of flair. And once again, the same one. And it seems like Royal Hogs with the bad combination this time around, hoping to extend that damage just a little bit here.
Better feedback this time, but still takes a decent amount of damage on the left bottom.
So gets that charge through. We see that reduced attack speed from that Zappies. See how that really decreases effectiveness there.
Flying Machine.
And it will connect.
They still don't have a fireball. One good fireball takes out the Flying Machine. And straight out take all the damage for the golden push, so they gotta make this push happen.
Literally all or nothing if you are looking at OP Gaming, just getting that tombstone down is going to be step 1, but all the way through.
Double Prince.
Very nice knockback with the Giant Snowball just to stop the charge coming in from the Infernal Dragon, but still getting very good defense on by Bren Esports. You see that Mega Minion being the MVP right there, right in the corner.
And the Valkyrie actually got deleted by the Double Prince, but was just enough to actually delete them as well. So good traded there.
That Mega Minion is doing so much work.
Just out of range
Just
from Princess.
for that 3 elixir. It's doing so much for this team.
Just out of range. One single arrow, even a missed arrow, could have killed them.
Okay, we're now looking at once again a heavy investment into the middle of the river, and we're gonna see the Lumberjack going down through this cannon cart and also the flying machine. And the flying machine doing a pretty good job of just trying to mitigate the HP bar of this golem, but we're gonna see the Mega Minion come in and destroy this flying machine to see what push they can have on the counter.
They have the poison for the tombstone, and the golem will be straight marching towards the tower now. This one seems a little bit better with the poison perfect time.
As long as the Prince doesn't connect, I think it will be mission successful for the side of Bren Esports, and they will. The defense pretty well done here. Get down to 10-62, and all these elixirs left available for the side of Bren Esports. We're going to see what happens here on the right side. The tower definitely will go down with no defense input. On the right side for OP Gaming, this has to be all in or nothing for the side of OP Gaming on this counter attack here.
They have the tombstone again, golem pretty low already, but that's going to be a death damage on the tombstone, not onto the tower. The Prince actually, I think, it got the charge just before it went down. And the poison, the rest of the damage should be going into the tower.
Okay, the Lumberjack should be going through.
Ooh, the cannon cart!
The cannon cart actually goes through. We actually saw a sneak up there so much, and gets the left tower down to 553, and the Mega Minion will take care of the rest of the work here, just making sure the King's Tower doesn't take too much damage. You see Noise just dancing around. That Hawks will do enough damage, maybe even to get 3 crowns, but surely a 2 crown will be good enough for the side of Bren Esports to get this win and get the set 1 victory over the Korean team once again.
Yeah, that's what we worried about. OP Gaming charging someone the new duo pair against a forever pair of Gino inside. Seemed like they had the right tools with the Roll Hogs. Is having the right tools to have miners, bats to follow up. Golden push nowadays way too slow unless there are specific bans all the time. The Fireball Tornado together. I don't think Golden Double Prince right now in the meta is working out too well, or you gotta have at least some other defensive use with other cards.
Strategically, very well done by Bren Esports, knowing exactly how to play against these Korean teams. Not having a giant skeleton, no problem. And it seemed as if they knew still how to defend against these golden pushes. We've seen him for months and months and months now, and it's still the same story. If you can defend against golden push, make sure that explosive damage doesn't come towards your tower, and you will always come out with a happier counterattack on the other end.
Yeah, also their defense today against Double Prince, which is actually played since Season 1. So a lot of these teams, basically every single team in the league, are practiced. They know exactly what to do, what kind of push is coming towards you. So their defense in this case from Mainland Esports, having the Valkyrie in the right place, flying machine perfect range outside of all this poison value. They were winning the trade all the time, so golden push is not too effective.
Let's take a moment to kind of remember back to the fact that no fireball was used for that game 1. Understandable. Maybe you just wanted to use the poison over the fireball, but once you saw those Royal Hogs from game 1 being so successful, you would expect Bren Esports to bring it out again. Still, in game number 2, no fireball from OP Gaming.
At least 1 fireball for game 2, but still, they kept up with very of the same one. They didn't really get through too much into the tower.
The reliance onto that tombstone just to bring the Royal Hogs in was basically the only defensive strat that OP Gaming had against the Royal Hogs, and other than that, nothing was going to come through. And really didn't even defend the right side altogether from the very beginning.
Yeah, they got a few good charges in, and a few good attacks in with the poison as well, but they can't really split their attack just like how Bren Esports actually doing. They split all the time, has a cannon card that's surprised like that. You can't stop the Hog without the fireball.
It really is, and when you have the flying machine, when you have all these units ready to go, you know that the fireball would have been a 1-step cure into your defensive tactics. But Bren Esports, very nicely done in the set 1 in this 2v2 squad that we know from Giant Noim side from Season 1, still proving to be just as effective. So we're gonna go into this 1v1 now. We're gonna go into Ice Golem Ban coming from Dabong TV. You would expect Jin to come up on this scenario, but it is gonna be Dabong this time around for OP Gaming.
Yeah, most likely, and the double TVs really coming out strong for 1v1. Dabong known as the Poison Master in Korea. And probably Poison's not banned, but Raska was also one of the decks that he used with Expo. He's actually the player in this league that actually played the most amount of Expo in the league. And usually Rascals come in with the Mortals with the Tesla sometimes, so I think that's a really good around snipe ban coming up from this player here, Mainland GP.
Here's his opponent right here, Mainland GP coming in from Bren Esports. 20 seconds left to go before we get the cards to set through, but it is going to be the Rascals, as you were mentioning, that was banned out, targeted against Dabong TV, which he has played so many times to great amount of success. So Mainland GP doing a good job.
Because he uses a lot of three musketeers, and usually pairs up with the Ice Golem. I think it's another band that's really smart you can use because he has his style, and without the Ice Golem, it's actually kind of broken for Mainland GP.
And of course, we'll see if Mainland GP can get the job done here. After his 2v2 duo, his allies have already beaten down the OP Gaming. Let's see if this one player, Mainland GP, can do just the same against OP Gaming. Let's go on to game 1 of this 1v1. Mainland GP coming in from Bren Esports, Southeast Asia, going up against Dabong TV. OP Gaming, Korea, we know that this first matchup wasn't the best between their allies, of course, with Bren Esports picking up the 2v2 win. They're looking for another win right here in this 1v1.
The sniping is really cool on the ban cards. Rascal's Ice Golem, it actually breaks the style of how they usually play, the decks they play the most in the league. They're forcing out the comfort ones out of there.
We're going to see some bowlers coming in for this one, the Zappies. If you're holding that card and you see a bowler on the end, you're going to be very, very frustrated from an OGPN.
Even more if you have a Valkyrie. Here comes the Bandit.
And it will come through. The Valkyrie will be good enough of a defense just to kick that charge and make sure nothing is going to be staying put. And of course, the bowler will not be able to push back this Pekka. That's going to be charging through the lane here, but otherwise the graveyard is going to be the choice. And what will we see from from inside of Mainland GP? Because it seems like the Valkyrie will be taken down, and obviously the Dark Goblin will help out in that defense. Takes a little bit of damage, but still pretty successful.
So that's okay. Gets the bowler down. Pekka is basically wasted down there, but he has a point. He has a tornado this time to drag it all the way back.
Just to make sure it doesn't take any damage from that. It seems like the Ice Wizard will just slowly charge down onto these Zappies, but the Bandit comes in. Obviously no charge with this Valkyrie ready to swipe things out. And once again, will we see another graveyard here?
We'll have to see the cycle. I think he's about to have it in his hand with the Valkyrie down, but still 2 more cards left to be seen for both sides.
And we know if you're holding the Battle Ram and you know that the opponent has the bowler, that's not a good situation for you. Anytime you send that out, it becomes literally just basically immune. Everything.
So Mainland GP, he's countered by really hard, so he needs to have that Pekka and push with the Pekka with the bowlers. Lead it out of the arena.
Essentially, Dabong TV has everything on that counter for this Pekka here. The Pekka will get the swipe down onto the Ewiz and will charge through, but obviously it's not going to get its way through, but we're going to see the Dark Goblin finally make its way and it's going to get one or two shots here.
Always 2 shots, or when the Princess is there. Pretty quick attack speed, just like the Lumberjack, but ranged. That's why it's so strong right now.
It seems like Dabong TV having a tough time making a counterattack of any sort coming through. And the Bandit is going to be charging through the Ewiz and will get that couple of hits, which will be good enough. That Fireball is going to be coming in, doing a very good job with that one swipe for the Barbarian. Valkyrie just in time for that defense on the right side. Does a pretty good job. This bowler still standing strong on the left side for the ball.
Yeah, Mainland GP actually changed up his cycle so that the Valkyrie was on the left side, everyone was on the right. So now Dabong TV's got his chance with the graveyard this time.
See the Bandit and Ewiz be the answer for this graveyard coming in. Of course, no poison. Gonna be supplemented for this attack. And
Bowler having 2,
maybe 3. We have a 3 this here, and we're gonna see once again the Dark Goblin doing a pretty good job on the supplemental attack. And these Barbarians coming for the banner and all again to no effect here. And it seems like the Valkyrie comes back once again. Another graveyard effort being put down here. What we're gonna see for defense right here, because it seems like the defense coming pretty late for the side of Mainland GP. The Skeleton's doing a good job.
Even a zap onto it. Delete the Skeletons only, and the push is coming from Dabong TV.
You're going to see the Dark Goblin obviously wipe out for the entirety of that Ewiz and also the Ice Wiz, but we're going to see the Dark Goblin just go down once again to another cycle of the Ice Wizard. And you can see there's 2 shots here. We're going to see obviously the Pekka coming through once again. We're going to see if he has enough elixirs to take care of all these units. The Skeletons coming from the ground. The Bandit doing a pretty good job along with these Zappies here.
He knows the time's working for Dabong TV. He's not really concerned about the right. too much because he's got the power down to less than 600.
We're going to see the Dark Goblin once again do a good job of stopping all this damage coming in. The Dark Goblin even doing a very good job against this bowler, and 594 still on the count. GP has still a long ways to go if he wants to get this win here. The game one looking pretty good for that ball.
That was a big risk for GP to actually attack onto the right. He needs near perfect defense against this graveyard, getting a few hits, 460 right now.
Maybe a couple of rotations of the poison eventually for Dabong, which starts now, and see if he can get this through and trying to just cycle away in time. Obviously the bowler once again stopping the damage coming in from the battle ram, and really nothing to do here. 244 means that it's gonna be a poison and a half if you want to finish off this game for Dabong.
Yeah, poison and a single scratch of anything else except for that tornado.
Uh-oh, any scratch that you get from these skeletons will get the job done. 176, that will be good enough, and not even the poison needed maybe, but just to make sure Dabong will get the game one victory of a very, very counter deck that he had up against his opponent.
A bowler, big risk to actually bring into your deck once you don't have too many things to go up against. If you are against a Lava Hound, lots of air units from the other side, which Southeast Asia actually used a lot last weekend, he was going to be in trouble. He was going to be the one getting deleted by minions, Inferno Dragons all the time. But in this case, where there are so many things, charging units, a slow one, to be deleted by their big chunk of rock all the time, with Dabong, he had to lead. That's why GP was shaking his head the moment he saw that bowler.
And basically, when you had that splash shard from 1 month ago, before all these buffs came into various units that we have in Clash Royale, you wouldn't think that we would go back in time with Dabong bringing this splash shard deck back out again in this current month that we have in about October. That's going to be in a few days or so, and we haven't seen this deck in a long time, G-Clip. And maybe for the side of Manong GB, this is the same reason why I was surprised so badly.
And the tornado, once it was used just one time, he was holding it forever because it seemed like he didn't even need it. Bowler was actually doing the tornado's job, tracking it back, doing the damage that they needed to do. So holding on to that was actually the perfect cycle for himself.
We knew basically the only counter you would experience from Manong GP was going to be that bowler, and boy did he see a hit from his opponent, and he had much of a counter against the graveyard and the poison combo from his opponent. It seemed as if maybe just this additional minute that we got with the timeout here for Bren Esports is just needed to make sure he doesn't get countered again.
Well, that Ice Golem snipe ban is certainly working out. Look at him right now. He's getting all the massage from
getting
his
all the
teammates
love.
saying, oh yes, I got this, boys.
Understandable. You do come from a very kind of tough 2v2 defeat from your team or from OP Gaming, but for that 1v1, if you want to be Dabong and you want to be the hard carry to bring this team back to a set 3, this is exactly what you want for Korea and for kind of the running momentum that you're going to have from the 2 weeks ago. And we're coming into this week 6, hoping that Korea does a little bit better, but Fong TV just trying to keep this hope alive.
And they have to, because they won the first one. There's a chance that they can certainly bring it back and this entire series with a 2-0. That's totally possible, but Manong's got to start with a win first.
Manong GP losing that first one, definitely wants to win this second. If he goes down here, his team will go down to a set 3 King of the Hill, but we'll see if Dabong TV can do this once again for his team OP Gaming as he tries to look to bring his team down to a set 3 into the King of the Hill. Let's see if he can do it. Let's go into game number 2 of this 1v1. Of course, we saw Manong GP do a pretty good job mechanically for what he had, but he didn't have much against the deck last time around.
He was very countered by the deck, so it was really hard to actually have anything done. This time, it's actually not a bad choice in the case, but he has perfect poison. It's going to be a big problem for every single elixir collector now.
You see the guard just taking away all the damage coming through it. The poison, like you were talking about, did a pretty good job offensively to supplement that attack, but really, if you are Dabong TV, it's a pretty even trade is probably what you're going to get.
I think Manong's mentality right now is about to be shattered.
Okay, shattered, that is just saying.
But no Ice Golem in this case, so let's see what else it follows up with.
The P.E.K.K.A coming through on the left side against these two Musketeers on the left. We still have one Musketeer on the right for Manong GP. We're going to see what comes running. Bandit's going to be supplemented to see what we're going to get. The charge coming both ways this time around, and the Royal goes just the same. Just to make sure the defense does come through, and most of the elixirs invested, but still going to get pretty good defense all the way through here.
It's the charge damage, and then the damage away from the P.E.K.K.A as well, but the Royal Ghost did a lot more, which is the card that Manong usually uses, but Dabong actually using it against it. Bringing that Bandit as well. That's not a card that Dabong used a lot in all seasons.
We're going to see the Elixir Collector once again being planted on the left side just to knock off all the damage coming through. And we're going to see once again this battle ramp being pretty effective. Does put out a lot of aggro. When this Bandit does come through, and nothing coming from the defense of Manong GP. And once again the lock just to make sure they get that finishing blow hitting. The Bandit will make them MVP right here. And even the Elixir Collector going to find heavy punishment right now. He was doing all the work now.
Once you drop down the Elixir Collector, you're expecting a poison this time, but Dabong did not go towards that poison path. He went to the E-Wizard because he knew that the charge from Dark Prince was going to lead. This battle ram, perfect lead on the cycle.
You already see a GG being planted from Manong GP. He sees no way of coming back from this one, but we know it's all a psychological play here. Dark Prince doing a pretty good job of standing the defense here, but it will quickly go down. Bandit, what does he have for this? A lock prediction just to make sure everything goes down. And the Bandit still staying alive here, but we're going to see for more defense coming through. This mini horde once again being countered very easily by the poison once again.
Yeah, Miner will do some damage, but this is the feeling you get when you have near perfect game towards the end. And your opponent can only have so much time with the 3 Musketeer. It's not going to come all the way to tower and get that down.
Well, we know the 2 Musketeer isn't going to get the job done, so all-in effort on the left side is the best effort that really Manong GP has, but we know that how the end of the story will become. It will be a match over, going very easily towards the Dabong TV after he got that push onto the left side. It became an eventual win for him in the end.
Yes, just bringing 2-0 deck choice onto Dabong TV today. The reason why we had Dabong instead of Jin, I believe after these 2 games, we know exactly why the amount of preparation that this player did against Manong GP today, who has played last week, and he has been bringing similar decks compared to last week. Lots of Bandit, good snipe onto the Ice Golem. Seemed like he was really having a tough time without it, with the 3 Musketeer, which was his favorite card. So Dabong TV, he was definitely ready for what was about to come to his face.
You know, OP Gaming is very famous for their informative understanding of the database and also the analytics of everything that goes around. And we do know exactly how they get the job done, and we see it very clearly being fruition and really coming to reward into how this team can find so much success just purely on stunning their opponents. And oh man, this 1v1 looked very successful for OP Gaming, but going to King of the Hill, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, we have to get there, and after these 2 deck choices from Dabong TV, I think the entire team of Bren Esports, they're really having a hard time having some brain massage right now. It seems like that is required because Game 1, Boulder hard current counter, Game 2, the poison doing so much more, and then the read of the cycle from Dabong TV, he was just on top mechanical player.
And really, you're losing 3 elixirs for summoning a defensive miner. You never know what's going to happen next here, but Dabong TV knew exactly what to do after that second elixir collector did plant out, and not even going for the poison, just going for an all-out attack on the left side just to make sure that really no defense came about from Manong GP, and he got that exactly right.
Yeah, it's to compare it just like how it's done. When the opponent puts a golem all the way to the left back, then you suddenly have the bridge spam. When you have the bridge spam, just do it onto the opposite side. So that's the risk that Manong actually took at that moment, and Dabong TV was willing to take it. He won over that time. Nice 2 games.
Of course, we're going to go to Game 3. Of course, set 3 coming in. Seems like Giant is feeling a bit green today. Got the lighting coming in from the stadium, not favoring him very well today, but we know who's feeling good right now, because it's going to be OP Gaming, hoping to bring this right back to even. Now we're going to go on to set 3, and before we do, we're going to talk just a little bit about what happened in the previous 2 sets. Really one side on both ways here, 2v2. Very easily going towards Bren Esports, but that set 2 with that 1v1, Dabong TV really had the right shots to call here today.
They're going to have a few more 2v2s, but King of the Hill, it's only 1v1 show, and it's going to be very hard. If Manong GP comes out again, and he faces Tabong TV once again. Let's see what kind of decks that he's gonna bring, but still having that 2 straight up counter decks, and even the plays, he was getting outplayed all the time. So that's gonna be a tough one to face after all. So let's see how the roster comes in, and this time when Jin TV is available on the roster, perfect for the King of the Hill.
Really is only getting better for OP Gaming when you do have all 4 players to work with. And obviously with the 2v2 players that did lose out with, obviously Chashu and someone, still you're counting on them to put out a pretty good performance in this 1v1 aspect of this game. But you are looking at Bren Esports now. You kind of wonder what is their answer here. You're going to have Trainer Ken be added as that 4th player, but really not much story about this guy being the superstar carry for Bren Esports, and really you're all counting on Giant knowing side to get the job done.
Yeah, even Trainer Ken's record, he had never played in 1v1 before the King of the Hill kick in, but he has 1-3 record on King of the Hill, so I don't think you can count on him too much. And in this kind of a trade where Jin TV is standing on the other side, let's see. Perfect bans, I would say. But Bren Esports actually banning Lava Hound. That's quite surprising. I guess because Jin TV used to play lots of Lava Hound long time ago. Not too much these days.
Well, I mean, living back in time is going to be Bren Esports banning at the Lava Hound against Jin TV. But you have to wonder, for all 3 players, Chashu, Jin, and Tabong, see what they're going to bring out. They're going to ban out the 3 Musketeers against the Southeast Asian side. But we were talking about Manong GP, Trainer Ken being that addition along with Giant. Knowing side just going to rest in the silence to see what his teammates can do. But it looks like a pretty tough matchup for Bren Esports, about to say.
And Manong TV this time, last time was the Ice Golem, this time it's the 3 Musketeer that he loves to play. Has been banned out. Seems like OP Gaming is really targeting someone today. And has been working so far. Let's see if it works again for King of the Hills. And because they just chose the roster and the ban cards, we'll have the extra, of course, we're going back to the original 3 minutes of building all the deck time.
And of course, we're coming in with set 1 and set 2. They know, all the teams know exactly what the ban cards will be before the broadcast even begins. So all that information is laid out. So they really only require 1 minute of break time for these teams to prepare their decks. But since this is a newly added format where players don't know beforehand what the bans will be, they'll get extra 2 minutes to start this thing off. And we are starting with Chashu, a player that we saw from the 2v2 aspect of OP Gaming. Did lose out, but obviously is looking for a better performance this time around and see what he can do with 2 minutes left to pick out his deck.
And Chashu's really known for his own golem plays, super popular golem picks with the original ones, Knights, of course, Night Witch, and even we have fans for Chashu here. As I can't really quite agree with all the comments on the bottom, but still really popular with weird golem decks like the Sparky golem decks, Royal Giant golem decks, all kinds of golem decks that he has tried. And he is willing to try that on stage, so you never know what's going to come out.
And we see a heavy card being banned out against him. It's not going to be the Golem, it's going to be the Lava Hound. And here's one of the players that really contributed to that ban. It's going to be Manong GP, who just came off of a loss in that 1v1 against Tabong. So these 2 players on both ends are coming off losses as we speak. So it seems as if Manong GP wants to get a retaliation, wants to get a revenge match on to make sure that he can keep his confidence on and maybe bring a win over to his team.
Let's see what other decks he's willing to play, because certainly he has to change, at least has to change 1 deck from what we know because of what he played last time in that 1v2 second game. No 3 Musketeer, which means a lot more Rogue Ghost, maybe no Ice Golem required at all, and they have banned their own Lava Hound, which I thought that was a possibility. So they're not going to go all air. Maybe they have some weird strategy like the Expo, which they use sometimes. Really rare to see in this case.
One would assume maybe the Golems will be very prevalent in these bans that came through. If you talk about heavy decks, they're very, very acceptable. We see the 3 Musketeers, we see the Lava Hound, Lava Loon, all of that coming into play. And we'll see the Golem being that 3rd one we always count on. So with 30 seconds left to go, we're probably expecting, if any heavy beatdown does come through, it probably will be the Golem or maybe the Giant that might just come from this angle.
Also the opposite, the really cheap cycle. We saw the Hawk cycle, really cheap one from Manong just once. At least getting 1 or, if lucky, 2-3 hits onto the tower all the time. Eventually you do get the win. We did see that deck coming out. Really no hard counters against it. Maybe that could be one of the things, but once you lose 1 game, you drop out.
And really, you are considering yourself as a person that could defeat out an entire roster of 3 players against your opponents. But if you are Chashu, if you are Manong GP, you are both hoping to get that job done. But we are going to get into the first game between these 2 players in this King of the Hill, between Bren Esports and OP Gaming, to see who's going to be the first one to be eliminated and give his team the best chance. First game of the King of the Hills will go between Manong GP from Bren Esports. Chashu coming in from OP Gaming to see who's going to get the first win, and we'll get the opposition out of the way here.
We know for the fact Chashu would love to play that golem. And with the time ticking down, maybe.
Oh,
Still with a tombstone, yes, it's possible.
No Lava Hound though. We got very much a forever partnership we do see. So we're going to see from this tombstone with this poison now. So kind of makes us wonder what this deck ought to be.
Maybe it's the opposite, and maybe he has just chosen to use the graveyard in this case.
Huh. Skeleton. Tombstone. If I see a witch come through, then maybe that combined with the graveyard might be a possibility. But we're going to see the Hog Rider be a thing right now with the Tombstone, slowing things down. Not going to allow even once.
So eventually having the Tombstone put down at first actually worked out for him. Using it against the Hog Rider. That's a nice cycle for Chashu.
I've seen this deck with Night Witch, with a Tombstone, with Skeletons, with an original Witch, with a Graveyard. I've seen this deck before, but I wonder if it is. You can see the law come through. Very, very light cycles all the way through with the Flying Machine now added on to this mix. And let's see what happens here.
Few amount of shots. He has a Tombstone against the Hog Rider, and defending against that Hog, it's the key for Chashu to actually win this game.
Chashu looking at this once again. Not much cards revealed by Manong GP. Only basically a Hog cycle. Not the lightest one in the world, not the 2.6 with the E-Wiz being involved here, but Chashu, we're still wondering what the last card's gonna be.
May just be a Giant instead of Golem. Golem can be a little too slow. Chashu, it seems like he wants to have a low cycle, but it is still the Golem. He is Chashu, after all.
Chashu gonna bring out this Golem to see what this push can make of it. The P.E.K.K.A. we know is a terrific counter against any type of Golem pushes, but all these bats coming in
from
the Night Witch,
too.
and with all these units that are coming through, the Flying Machine will go down, but the P.E.K.K.A. will take that Golem in time. It's looking like a pretty good defense for now for Manong GP. We'll see if we continue here.
The second Night Witch has been dropped already. It's gone. Tombstone again available. So many Skeletons will be harassing that Hog against the P.E.K.K.A. Pretty good tool as well.
The guards will be the last cards being revealed by Manong GP. Is not going to really add to what he's been trying so far. This Golden Push, once again, has to be stopped for here for Chashu, but what are we going to get on the right side here for Chashu as this Golem is kind of stranded on the left side. The Night Witch is going in, and the Mega Man is trying to do its best. We're going to see what happens for all this.
P.E.K.K.A.'s just solid defense all the time against the Golem. Unless Chashu's force, Skeletons surprisingly make it before, so the P.E.K.K.A. actually super delayed. But there's Hog Rider once again.
They really have the Tombstone prepared every single time with that one more summon of the Skeleton. Then let's see the E-Wiz.
P.E.K.K.A. is coming
to stop this through, and the Night Witch will go down eventually, but no swipe eventually coming in for the P.E.K.K.A. This Hog Rider is going in. Do they have any Tombstone for this? Just gonna barely get it, and we're gonna see the one swing from the Hog Rider. We're gonna get a second. Gonna get third, maybe. Gets that third one down to 380 here.
Even the minions, so that will almost be a power down.
That's it. 128 with poison is gonna be it for Manong GP to knock out Chashu for this first rendition of the King of the Hill. Very close one, but we are gonna see Bren Esports collect the first one here.
So he goes back to his comfortable one with the Hog Rider. This time a little different with the P.E.K.K.A. Still had a very good way of defeating against a Golem Master Chashu. And in this kind of case, Giant, Golem, it doesn't matter when you're up against the P.E.K.K.A. We will chop things and delete and just tear you into pieces. So I think that's why Chashu was actually holding his golem until the final moment because of that P.E.K.K.A. He knew that it wasn't really going to get value all the time.
Bren Esports doing a very good job with Manong Chibi, who really needed to gain his momentum right back after losing his 1v1 at set 2. Comes back in his King of the Hill, gets the first opponent out. We'll be up against obviously a tougher opponent. We're probably going to see Tabong TV, if I remember correctly, is going to be the second man up.
I thought it was. I think it was Jin TV.
It was either Tabong or Jin.
Yes.
We know it
Those
was one
TVs,
of the two.
One of the TVs.
One of the TVs. We'll get to watch one of the TVs. If we can choose and pick and choose, that's my pleasure right there. Here we are moving in. It's looking like Tabong TV.
Yeah, it seems like it's Tabong TV.
No, it's Jin TV. They look similar. I have to say Jin and
Both
Tabong.
TVs.
They're TVs and they look similar. Not really saying that because they're both Koreans. I'm a Korean also, so I get to say that. So we are looking at Jin TV, not Tabong TV, be the second man out, and we'll see if he can play against this player of Manong GP and find a lot of success here.
Yeah, we've seen 3 decks from Nanong. Of course, one's cancelled by that Three Musketeer ban, but that Hog Rider, you need to be able to stop that because that Hog Rider, that kind of cycle deck, low cycle decks are just really powerful. Maybe bringing your own P.E.K.K.A. sometimes does work, but it's a lot heavier compared to your own Hogs.
We're gonna see if Manong GP can do it once again. 10 more seconds left to go for his planning of the second deck. Will it be a different one? Will it be the same one? Because that Hog Rider, it didn't prove too successful only until the very end.
Seems like he doesn't really have too much time, but he was strolling through the deck really, really quickly. I think we're about to see something else because that has been the pattern, not sticking with the same for the King of the Hill.
And let's go into the second game of this King of the Hill. OP Gaming currently down 1 man, looking on their second man of Jin TV to get the job done. Can he do it against Manong GP? Let's get into the game and find out. King of the Hill currently in favor of Bren Esports with the Manong GP picking up that first win. Can he get a second right now against Jin TV?
And do you want to be the first one to deploy your card onto the arena? Spats.
Says yes, Manong GP.
Okay, Jin, bring that Bandit, which Manong did use a lot. There's his favorite, the Rogue Ghost, finally coming in for Manong.
I can see the
Bridge
charge
spam.
that will come through. Bridge spam, you do say, is going to be the choice for Jin TV. We do see Manong GP play that quite often, so P.E.K.K.A. now it's going to be the open counter for all this damage coming in. The Rogue Ghost just harassing all this damage coming in from the P.E.K.K.A, but will eventually be chopped down. You can see the E-Wiz just trying to slow down the P.E.K.K.A, but probably not going to kill it anytime soon.
Yeah, it will take some time with the Prince's shots. Just in time, but own P.E.K.K.A. So Jin TV was certainly thinking about his own poison in the E-Wizard.
The E-Wiz is going to hop in front of the P.E.K.K.A is exactly not what Manong GP wanted, but all this poison, all this E-Wiz is going to do a good job defensively once again, and you can see basically a small damage being taken, 21-26 on the left side for Jin TV, 25-34 still very, very untouched on Manong GP's towers.
Well, he's just untouched. Perfect defense, I would say. Even the poison actually did not catch any of the tower damage. Let's see how Jin TV actually uses the Bandit against the Ghost. Bandit does not do too well. Yes, his own Ghost.
See this coming through it. The Bandit will charge right along to this E-Wiz, and we're going to see the Goblin Gang just buying some time, but this Bandit is moving through and will get that charge through. And what we're going to see against this Battle Ram now coming through, and we're not going to see it getting stopped before it gets the charge in. The Barbarians starting to do some damage now with these bats, hoping to take the defense back, but still 1156 on the left tower.
That was a lot of damage, and luckily, because Bandit, when it gets the charge to the tower right next to the river, it doesn't go across. He was actually getting that extra dash, just 1 HP left.
You're going to see the P.E.K.K.A chopping down the Bandit, and once again the E-Wiz creeping itself forward. That's not a very good movement for this E-Wiz who's supposed to be supporting the P.E.K.K.A in the back. And now against the Royal Hogs with the Goblin Gang, all in push on the right side. Even the Bat's going to change the charge through them, but still, lost that energy being taken already on the right side here with the E-Wiz going to help supplement. And just give up on this left tower here because it seems like he wants to go for all in right now.
Oh, he does have the P.E.K.K.A.
Oh,
that's
no.
going to be a good one, but Battle Ram is 0 already. That's a tower down.
Okay, but the Battle Ram is stuck. The Battle Ram is stuck, guys, and this is a problem situation for Jin TV. on the very last split second. The decisiveness of MonoGP to go all in on the right side came through in the end for another win for his player.
Yeah, this time the small hogs, not the big one. Royal Hogs, the final card that he had been holding for such a long time, was able to bring the win for himself. Just having that win condition and not revealing until the final moment right after the poison. He was collecting the elixir right there to use it. The small bats, he had to use the zap onto the back to delete the small ones first. So Jin TV, he was caught with his own Pekka.
You definitely saw that Jin TV was narrowly visioned onto that left side only, just focusing on attack, just to get the left tower down, which he eventually didn't even get, which he was really not focusing not enough on that right side where all in came in after that poison usage. All he had was a zap and elixir whip, but it was not good enough to take down the tower.
So we were wondering about the roster with MonoGP, Trainer Can, Jai, because Trainer Can and Jai not having the best record of King of the Hill. Seems like they won't even be needed today as MonoGP is on a roll after a big loss of 0-2.
And we're gonna get this one man that has defeated MonoGP in the past, and that set to it is gonna be Dabong. Looks very similar to Jin. Once again, I have to emphasize that, but we are coming back. But this player has defeated this player before, MonoGP. But can he do it again?
It's the rematch of 15 minutes ago or 20 minutes ago. But it's a different case scenario with no Ice Golem, and he does have the Ice Golem. When he brought back his Royal Ghost, you could see how the flow was so much better for Manong. He has a style with that Royal Ghost. He always keeps his attacking semi-push, and then he attacks into the other side. And Dabong TV with that studied and analyzed deck, I think he can just bring the final game because he has to swing it. He's the last one for the team.
The preparation and the tactics were the key victory factors into Dabong TV beating out MonoGP last time around. We're going to get all the high fives coming through from the Bren Esports and to see if MonoGP can do this all-in sweep against the entire OP Gaming, because it seems like Jin TV defeated, the Charger defeated. Seems like Dabong has to be that last hero for OP Gaming to somehow pull off this reverse sweep, which is looking pretty unlikely, but it has to go one step at a time. MonoGP beating 2 in a row, looking for a third one to clean out this game. Let's see if he can do it in this game number 3. Here we are once again. You've seen this before. Dabong TV versus MonoGP. Here we are back once again, and Bren Esports this time on the upper end, looking to finish things off.
The different bands, same side. Let's see if Dabong actually brings in his own bandits.
The Royal Hogs coming through on the right side. The Magic Archer does a pretty good job against these Royal Hogs, as we know, but this 4 elixir cost on the left side, what is it going to do here? Because it seems like the Royal goes very much on the attacking force. Now the Royal Hogs of his own for Dabong TV, and we're going to have the Royal Ghost on the left side, just stopping all the damage coming through. Even the zap on the bats to continuing the damage for all this damage that came through for the side of Dabong TV. Pretty good attack to start things off here.
Better trade, of course. With his own Royal Ghost actually hitting the other side of the tower as well. Hogs are super effective. Wonder if they actually have a Valkyrie in that deck. Again, the Pekka one.
That seems to be the favorite deck, favorite card from MonoGP for most of these rounds now, and gonna be moving on to what we're gonna see more Royal Hogs probably gonna be coming in, and pretty similar decks all around for both players here. And Royal Hogs once again going on the right side all in, and this Goblin Gang is gonna be charging towards this E-Wiz and will get it down, allowing the Royal Hogs to do so much damage. The Goblin Gang untouched, and it seems like MonoGP will get the right tower just as easily here. And this left tower, not as much damage by this Pekka. He's gonna find a lot of success.
He gave up onto the right tower because he simply did not have the best defensive tool like the Valkyrie in this one. And Pekka was really happy to push onto the left. He shouldn't do anything in this case.
And just the Magic Archer just desperately trying to get any kind of damage done, but we know the penetration is not going to be enough for this situation here all the way through. It seems like the Royal Ghost is back out once again, and the Pekka just in time for those 7 elixirs to be summoned out onto the field, still protecting the left tower.
really slow a push every single time, Dabong. Gotta go against. Does have the Rascal this time, not banned. There's a great value poison.
We're going to see the P.E.K.K.A. retargeting onto these Royal Hogs is not going to be good news for Dabong TV. As that poison did a very good job. We're going to see an all-in push on the right side, hopefully, for Dabong TV. But actually, no, just going to go for the penetration damage from the Magic Archer. But it's no longer going to be intact. And oh my goodness, even the Royal Ghost not doing a good job to get things through. And still, you see, the penetration damage is there in the end. The P.E.K.K.A. wrong placement on that one. We're going to see the Rascals do a pretty good job. It's going to be just stopped all the way through. The Royal Ghost just charging in here. And the Goblin Gang doing a pretty good job of stopping the damage. That's it.
Does the damage and then destroys the tower. Dabong, he was lost to do all attack onto the right, but great defense. And that's a 3-0 clean sweep from Manong GP.
Manong GP, after losing his 1v1 set in that set 2, he comes back with vengeance, he comes back with fire, and says to everyone, if you don't have my deck completely counter, you will not be able to win my games. And Manong GP said that loud and clear, and he gets rewarded with all those 3 wins.
Well, for that 1v1, he did have a very big counter deck onto his opponent, Dabong TV, but not in this case. When you have the same P.E.K.K.A., when you just have a better tool of defending, and when you have a lead, big lead, when you have the poison in your deck, might as well do the damage to the towers again. And that's why Dabong TV really had the late start and the late finish there. Did not really have the same effect with the P.E.K.K.A. Even Bren Esports celebrating their first win of the weekend here.
And it's the opening matchup, and they do get a very nice victory against OP Gaming. Of course, not the strongest team in the Korean region, but still will be happy nonetheless. And this P.E.K.K.A. has been very much at work for Manong GP for this entire series, and all 3 games really counting on this heavy card just to make the game to victories here.
Yeah, with that win, Bren Esports, they will actually be #1 for now. Standings from Southeast Asia. Manong GP just turning everything around. So if you trust in him with that 1v1 skill, he's got enough to actually turn it around for the entire team. The squad, trainer Ken Jai set on bench only.
The Manong GP show all day long, at least for the King of the Hills. And this set 3 was really not to the credit of all the players from OP Gaming, hoping to get at least 1 win out this way. We thought this tower was going to go down the left side, but had that one little P.E.K.K.A. and got the job done in the end.
P.E.K.K.A.'s really big. You have to go around and around with the ones that are pushing. Even the Hogs, Batter Ram, it takes a long time to go around your own P.E.K.K.A.
See, basically, in terms of getting countered in that set 2, set 3 was looking like more of a fair matchup for Manong GP and his opponents. But when you get a fair matchup in terms of card selection, that is Manong GP's really being happy knowing that he could bring out his skill to the maximum level.
Yeah, it was tough without the Valkyrie, Hogs, no Fireball either. So Dabong didn't really have a best defense in this case. Though the Magic Archer did a lot for him bringing the tower down, almost doing 1,000 damage with the 2 archers. It's really hard, high skilled I would say, to actually do the damage to the tower.
Of course, that P.E.K.K.A. was a little bit misplaced at the end from Manong GP to get that penetration damage from the Magic Archer, but nonetheless, gets that one swipe with the P.E.K.K.A. on the left side. That was all he needed to bring his team over to a victory. Let's get to the interview to see what Bren Esports has to say about the victory.
네, 이번 멋진 경기력 보여줬었던 마농 GP 선수 브렌 결국 또 승리 가져갑니다. 먼저 축하드립니다.
Congratulations.
자, 다시 한번 또 올킬에 성공하면서 어쨌든 마농 GP 선수의 이 올킬이 가져다주는 그런 임팩트가 정말 대단했었는데 일단 경기를 승리한 소감부터 먼저 들어보도록 하겠습니다.
What are your thoughts on your win today?
Naisip mo sa panalo natin ngayon?
Yung nagamit natin yung pagpapractice natin. Tapos yun nga, kasi since madalas puro katalo sa mga nakaraang laban ko ng tubig ito, parang binabi ko lang yung sarili ko. Tapos, yun nga, maganda yung pinaitara nilang laro sa amin, especially kay Dabong.
He said that we just used what we had practiced in the past weeks, and he just wanted to redeem himself because he lost in his 1v1 sets in the past matches. But he said that the other team, the opponent, gave a good match, especially Dabong.
우선 그 전에 몇 주간 연습했던 그대로 했고요. 1대1에서 좀 져가지고 KOH에서 좀 이기길 바랬던 마음이고 상대 팀도 굉장히 잘했다고 생각합니다. 특히 따봉 TV 선수가 참 잘해줬다고 생각합니다.
네. 정말 한국팀 정말 잘했었는데 그 마지막 한 번 딱 승리를 가져갈 수 있는 타이밍까지 정말 오랫동안 버텨서 한번 로얄 호그 빡 들어갔었던 그 모습이 계속해서 뇌리에 남거든요. 본인이 생각했을 때 저희가 중계 중에도 많은 이야기를 했습니다만 본인이 생각했을 때 본인 좀 참을성이 굉장한 것 같은지 좀 궁금해요.
So at the last moment, 따봉 TV almost won, but you've took out the Royal Hog and you have finally won. Are you normally very patient yourself?
Di ba, muntik na daw manalo si Dabong TV dun sa last game niya. Tapos, parang di ginamit may Royal Hugs. Tapos, mapag-intay ka daw ba sa paggamit ng Royal Hugs, ganun, or aggressive?
Hindi ako aggressive, mapaghintay ako. Yung push ko ng Hog Rider kasi alam kong wala na siyang elixir, so kaya nag-commit na ako ng push. Tsaka alam kong yung push niya sa right tower is kaya ko namang i-handle.
He said that he's very patient when it comes to attacking. He said that the attack on the other side, he can handle it very easy because it's not that big of a push. So he used the attack on the same lane because he knew that the opponent doesn't have enough elixir to counter it.
네, 우선 이렇게 공격을 할 때 참을성이 좀 있는 편이고요. 그리고 그렇게 푸시를 한 거는 상대편이 공격해왔을 때 그렇게 세다고 생각하지 않아서 그렇게 공격했었고, 그리고 그렇게 또 로얄 호그를 꺼낼 수 있던 게 상대편이 엘릭서가 부족했다는 거를 알고 있었기 때문입니다.
뭐 계산까지도 완벽하지 않았다는 생각이 듭니다. 요거는 이제 질문지에는 없는 내용인데 갑자기 그냥 느낌상 한번 여쭤볼게요. 일단 기본적으로는 노임사이 선수가 굉장히 리듬감 있고 약간 이런 스웩을 타는 그런 느낌이 좀 세요. 근데 만홍지피도 얘기하면서 계속 어쩌고 저쩌고 약간 스타일이 약간 이런데 본인도 약간 그 음악적으로 이런 좀 좋아하는지 되게 궁금합니다. 뭐 힙합이 됐건 뭐가 됐건.
Normally you're very like rhythmic and you're like really joyful, but when we see Manong, he's also like moving when he talks. So we would just want to ask if you are keen on music or anything like that.
Mahilig daw ba tayo sa music? Ganun. Kasi daw pag nagsasalita tayo, parang galaw tayo ng galaw daw, ganun.
Mahilig tayo sa music.
He said that we're very fond of music, listening to music. That's why we're like that.
저희가 음악을 듣는 것도 좋아하고 좀 그렇기 때문에 좀 그런 것 같습니다.
그러니까 전반적으로 팀 자체가 약간 리듬감이 있는 그런 플레이를 좀 많이 보여준 것 같기도 합니다. 자, 마지막으로 내일은 이제 샌드박스와 경기를 펼치게 샌드박스와 경기를 펼치게 됩니다. 저쪽에 보시면 저 샌드박스, 저쪽에 있죠, 샌드박스. 내일 있을 경기에 이제 같이 경기를 펼치게 됩니다. 샌드박스에게 각오 한마디, 딱 도전장 같은 그런 느낌으로 세게 한마디 좀 부탁드릴게요.
So tomorrow you will be fighting against Sandbox over there. So any determination, please like say it stronger, just to challenge them.
Ano daw, hindi, ikaw na lang. Ikaw determination daw natin para manalo bukas sa laban sa The Sandbox.
Determination namin, since bukas since last game na naman to, so sisiguraduhin namin na makuha namin yung laro bukas. Kaya Sandbox, mag-ready kayo bukas.
I said that it will be our last game here in Korea tomorrow, so that he said that Sandbox get ready for tomorrow because we will bring it the best for tomorrow.
내일이 마지막 게임이기 때문에 정말 저희는 꼭 최선을 다하고 이길 거기 때문에 준비 단단히 하세요.
아주 도전장 기가 막힙니다. 내일 샌드박스전까지 승리를 가져가게 되면 한국전 전승이라는 엄청난 기록을 또 세울 수가 있기 때문에 브렌의 진격 또 어디까지 이어지게 될 것인지 저희 내일 또 확인해 보도록 하겠습니다. 인터뷰는 여기서 마무리 짓도록 하겠습니다. 저희는 잠시 후에 다시
We'll be
돌아오겠습니다.
back with the second series, Sandbox versus Chaos Theory.
Welcome back, guys, to the CRL Asia Season 2. We're back with Korea going up against Southeast Asia. And the first footing back on the second time around. It's not a good start once again for Korea.
Yeah, not a really great start for Southeast Asia.
For sure.
We got one more out to go, but let's get down to the second series. Sandbox versus Chaos Theory.
We are going to introduce the players here. Of course, with seeing Sandbox looking pretty nervous after their first attempt against the Southeast Asian team. We are looking at many players, 6 players to be exact. Beaver Ito, Connie with Sato, Shinchu, and Thunder. They are the players. We will get 4 of them to go up against another Southeast Asian team who's ready to take down another Korean team.
Seems like they're doing not as well because when they were in the regional, they defeated all 3, OP Gaming, OGN, and Kingzone. Had a 3-0 streak and thought, is Sandbox going to be on top of the local and the entire league? But the answer was no. They started losing against all the Japanese teams and also AHQ from Southeast Asia. They got the win for Kicks, but let's see if it happens against Chaos Theory tonight.
We are going to look at their opponents on the opposite side. On the right, you do see Chaos Theory. You do see Benzorido just on your second man onto your left. And we are going to get this entire team, JTV, right back as Careless and Benzorido, to see which of the 4 we will get for today's matchup. And they are currently 3rd place in the standings with Southeast Asian format. They have a winning record, but still not good enough to get that higher position. So hopefully getting a win this time around will get them evened up with Bren Esports, who did collect just a win just a time ago.
Yeah, they would love to have that streak against the Korean teams versus OJ and Entus, OP Gaming. They took 2 down already, and they went all the way to the full King of the Hill matches. So they were very awfully close. Sandbox are waiting to take it again. Let's see if they can continue their streak, 3rd streak against the Korean team.
You see Rayback, you see Benzorido, you see Careless, and also JTV. And these 4 players, while they weren't the best players from Southeast Asia, Benzorido has really taken a lot of attention from many of the pros out there, looking like he's one of the best players that we should be focused on for this entire tournament.
Well, he's got the medal, so I think that's why we have the focus. He's really good. He keeps coming out on those 1v1, and he defeats his opponents. We do have roster and the bans. A minor ban onto 2v2, that's a rare one.
It's going to be Connie and Thunder banning that out, and they're going to do it against JTV and Careless, who's going to be waiting in the 2v2 lineup, banning out the Tornado. And Beaver is going to be the selection for Sandbox today, as he brings up himself in that 1v1, banning at the Fireball. So maybe a lot of Royal Hawks to be expected on that kind of matchup, but Benzorido banning at the Giant, we're going to be wondering what he's going to bring.
Yeah, Benzorido uses the most Fireball out of all players in the league, and that's the Snipe Ban plus. We're basically expecting lots of Royal Hogs, lots of poisons, maybe even the Tornado to be used, because we are expecting a lot of those Royal Hogs to be in there. Lots of Tombstones, that's going to be the 1v1, but let's start it with that 2v2.
We are looking at Connie and Thunder. These 2 guys are extremely talented for their own rights, but coming into 2v2 has always been a different proposition for all these teams. When you get 2 talented players and mingle them together, hoping to get great results, it sometimes turns out to be true, but sometimes you do end up with a lot of disappointments.
Chaos Theory is not a team that used a lot of minor in that 2v2. Even sometimes using, which was a ban for the first set, the Giant Skeleton, and went back to the Golem pushes, but not with the minor push too much, so it's actually a different case scenario this time.
We are looking at Chaos Theory, JTV, and Careless, and then banning at the Tornado. It's going to be a different story to what you just mentioned about the minor. And of course, 10 more seconds left to go before we start this game one with Careless and JTV, see what they can do against this match at Chaos Theory, looking for another win to bring Southeast Asia another winning trophy here, and that would be very good to see what they can get through.
They got their minute. They had all their decks prepared before the match started, so they should be prepared. Get set, ready to go into the game soon.
Seems like Connie and Thunder, they're ready to go. Seems like JTV and Careless, they're going to be ready as well as we move on to this first game between these two teams. Asia Season 2, Southeast Asia versus Korea on our second match of the day. Can we get into this 2v2 and see what's going to happen? Let's find out what's going to happen in this game number 1. Here we are, Kanye and Thunder, seeing what they're going to be able to do. They still see themselves with the Royal Giant.
Look at that, Cannon already ready for Chaos Theory, and that's a card that has been slightly coming up since last weekend, even in 1v1 as well.
Giant Skeleton and the Inferno Tower will do so much work against this first push that are going to be coming from JT Careless. The Skeleton Barrel is going to be opting for that other side. Of course, the Lightning does a pretty good job of knocking things away, and the explosive damage is not close enough to be on the tower here. We're going to see once again pretty good damage coming through, but still a very good defensive nonetheless from Kanye and Thunder.
Yeah, even with that poison, just taking about 600, a little plus on that damage. The thing is, they only defended, they didn't get their own chance to attack. And this time, the next turn, this turn is for Sandbox. They have that Royal Giant. Let's see if that card actually gets played in the middle, or it's going to be a surprise at the final few seconds.
Yeah, Thunder was leaking a lot of elixirs there before he summoned out those guards, but we're going to see what happens from all of this, because they're pretty indecisive in terms of what card to send. That finally gets that Royal Giant out of there, and the cannon will not be surviving for very long here. We're going to see obviously the Infernal Dragon trying to get to the Giant Skeleton in time. We're going to get the Royal Giant to go down as well. So pretty good defense once again from JTV and Careless. And this Prince is not much charging with the guard being there in the face of it.
Yeah, even though that Snowball kind of missed only the damage to the tower. It's not the worst one because the push was not too big coming down from Chaos Theory. They got their first Royal Giant in a few damage, not as much as they would love to. They have a second one. When they have a double, that's going to be the real push.
Well, they have this very much the textbook defense once again with the Infernal Tower and also the Giant Skeleton. I'm sure the Lightning will come through now. Yes, it will, and will destroy the Infernal Tower. And we're going to see this poison offensively here. Explosion still not getting there in time, and we are now still looking towards this opportunity where the poison does a lot of damage here. 10:55 with all this push that came through.
Yeah, just enough to continue their damage. If they continue same patterns, 2 more attacks should bring the tower down. With the amount of damage, here comes the Royal Giant once again. This time away from the tower, so at least it doesn't take the fireball damage.
We're going to see the Royal Giant not even going to get single hit onto the tower. It was already distracted by the cannon coming in, and we're going to see a pretty good defense on once again. The side of Chaos Theory. We're going to see JT and Kara. Let's see what they can do. To get another series stack of the Giant Skeleton and this Royal Giant coming in. Prince will get down the Giant Skeleton, but this Royal Giant still very much outworked it.
Yeah, locked onto the tower, so Cannon actually taking by the Mega Minion on the side. Prince not doing too much. So good trade for Kanye and Thunder this time. They have to have another one really quick.
Cycling really quickly through all of this here and not going to get to the cannon in time. We're going to finally see the Snowball and the knockaway very, very soon here, 10-16. 8:57 is giving the final count now, and you see the Giant Skeleton once again there for defense. 6 elixirs, very efficient. We're going to see a bridge summon of this Golem, and we're going to see the Lightning coming through against this Infernal Tower because it's still very much melting down this hole now.
Not in this case, having the Fireball to take out that Flying Machine. Seems like this defense actually is one of the best for them as E-Wizard and the Giant Skeleton once again.
Very nicely done with the Lightning to get down the Electro Wizard, and the Fireball will go on and on here. The logs will come through, and all the split damage that will eventually get the tower in the end. 8:57 looks so far away. With one more spell is all it really needs. That one poison, getting that 54 HP down, and JTV and Careless for Chaos Theory collects the first game victory.
Yeah, with the Golem, not the Double Prince, which we, with the Prince only, which was buffed in the last patch, not the Dark Prince, which was just enough to actually make the push work for themselves. They had a lot of small units. Flying Machine actually drew out the Fireball, which could not be used for Cannon destroyed later on. So that was a good cycle that they had. All the Golems were actually pushing just enough to do some damage onto the tower, and they were always using the poison offensive. That was the main case.
Just a highlight of this game one showed that Chaos Theory was on top of things, defensive strat every time came to a lot of perfection. And even the Royal Giant was not able to connect to the tower at multiple times, being distracted by the cannon, just melting down every single time to that Infernal Dragon. And really, when you have no counter push going, all that quick cycle means nothing if you can't get the damage through.
Yeah, most of the damage on the tower actually came through the lightning, 307, and the poison, 216. So over time, that was one of the conditions they were able to actually win the game with the lightning overall, about 5 times straight to the tower.
We will see, what comes from all this, because it seems like all the way through, very expensive is what we're gonna get from all these costs that came through from all these players. But we know that Sandbox is not gonna give up quite yet here. This 2v2 duo we have with Connie and Thunder, they're looking for a lot more. They're looking for victories, and hopefully in this game too, they're gonna be well suited to get that done.
Well, for the Elixir, seemed like Sandbox has just about the right price for their Elixirs, but they were actually having really cheap cycles to go around. Sometimes you think it's cheaper, but it actually does not work as well.
And we're gonna go into Chaos Theory after winning that game 1, see if they can do it in this game 2 here. The cost have already winning out. We're gonna see if they can do it again in this game number 2. After winning game 1, JTV and Careless very excited to start this game to see if they can get another one here, and Southeast Asia should be very happy off of all this.
About the same, but Sandbox brings their own lightning spell and the bomb tower in this case.
We're gonna get these very unique cards for Sandbox, and last time around didn't work to a lot of benefits. The Royal Giant is still there, the Giant Skeleton is still there, so the core structures, they're still here for play. See what happens here.
And Chaos Theory, they want to show them how to do it with the Royal Giant. They're gonna bring it and land it towards the bridge.
Literally copying the deck now with the lightning being brought up. The bomb tower will be a great defensive tool, just talking of all the damage that can come from all this. And the skeletons, they're doing a pretty good job of just exploding the defensive strats through and bring all the damage throughout.
Yeah, that's the best thing about the Giant Skeleton 2v2. So many units gone, attacked, destroyed, bombed for the explosion, but no damage onto the tower. That's the real reason why we have the Giant Skeleton all the time.
You're gonna see the Giant Skeleton just going down once again, probably gonna destroy all the units throughout, and the Infernal Dragon will go down in the instance as well. So the Zap and the E-Wiz just trying to slow down this Royal Giant, but still gonna get about 3 hits through with the addition of this poison that comes through. Now the counter push from the side of Sandbox. We'll see what this makes of it here.
Inferno Tower just in time.
Perfect.
To be locked on, so not even a single scratch onto the tower, having a perfect defense for Chaos because they're able to get more value out of the elixirs. They can throw that poison to do damage to the tower all the time.
25-34 on both sides means that it hasn't even had a scratch on their tower so far for Chaos Theory. So pretty good defensive strats for now. All these Giant Skeletons are just rushing forward with the elite. The Royal Giant just wanting to do a lot more from all of this, and they're now looking at once again the E-Wiz just going to be stopping these attack speeds coming through, and the bomb tower is going to be eventually getting close enough to get down to the E-Wiz here, but so Giant Skeleton still going to get the damage done. The Royal Giant will not get a single shot in before it goes down.
Look at that explosion, taking out all the units. Basically, Baby Dragon barely survives. Comes another Giant Skeleton, but that's not going to go too far unless a miracle happens.
Double sets of guards here being put here just to get down onto the Giant Skeleton. We're going to see the Royal Giant being distracted once again by this Infernal Tower here, and will go down without even taking a single shot towards the tower. Once again, still 25-3 for unchanged from last time around.
Another bridge right on top of the bridge. They have the bomb tower perfectly placed. Actually locks just onto the Inferno Tower this time, so that's not too massive for Chaos Theory, but right now Sandbox, they need to have the perfect defense down and then offensively do some damage, because Chaos Theory, we're in overtime, still not a single scratch onto the towers.
Incredibly impressive for what they have gotten done so far.
Locks onto the tower.
The poison getting all the way down through the bomb tower, through the tower, and with the Giant Skeleton as well, so pretty good value. All the way coming through, no counter damage coming through so far. And once again, this Inferno Tower is ready every single time.
Lasering down that Skeleton has a lightning. That's gonna help a little bit, but look at the damage on this. Look at the HP on the 624. So that's not going to survive too much after the log here.
Yeah, it's gonna be once again a counter push with a lot of elixir to spend. For the side of JT and Careless, even the fireball adding to all the damage now, and this Infernal Tower will get down to the Royal Giant, but this poison slowly and slowly will add 200 plus damage, and probably the next one should be good enough. Maybe just one log here.
Yeah, single log will destroy the tower, and that's just enough with near perfect defense until we went to overtime. Chaos Theory takes game number 1.
Sandbox looks helpless, and that's exactly what we saw from this 2v2. Really nothing to do, even hopping their opponent's deck, hoping to bring a lot of success, but didn't even come through success on that one. Literally a mirror deck being played on both sides, but we knew who the better team was. Chaos Theory picking up a very easy 2-0 victory.
Southeast Asia destroying all the Korean teams on 2v2s today. 4-0 so far this match number 1 and 2. So it comes down to 1v1. Can Beaver actually bring this back? Last time it was possible with a great snipe ban onto the opponent, but against Spencer Rhino, that's going to be the big problem for Sandbox right now.
Even the only set that Korean teams have won out today was going to be OP Gaming's Stabong TV in that set 2 against Mainland GP, but to be fair, it wasn't really skills that brought him the victory. It was literally the most hard counter that he could have had against his opponent for both of those games, and made sense that he was going to win regardless. So, you know, not taking anything away from preparation to everything that OP Gaming did to make this a successful 1v1 for them, but you gotta win by skills. If you have the same deck where neither counters the other, you have to have the skills to win out, and we still are not convinced that the Korean players have it yet.
Oh, we'll have to see, as Beaver known as one of the best 1v1 players ever since Clash Royale existed back here. But we have a lot of new players kicking in now. I would say he's the OG in terms of Clash Royale Korea, but he has to go against this young new player. Has the medal for himself already.
And then it's going to be OG, I should say, before even Season 1 of CRL Asia even started. He was already a famous figure in the Korean scene for Clash Royale, and still here in Season 2 looking like a prominent figure, but if you can do it against Spencer Ryder, you are now proving yourself once again. But it is going to be a tough ask in this set 2 to really have Beaver bring his team down to a set 3 like they did for OP Gaming, but unless you're going to get a heavy counter deck onto your favor, it just doesn't seem like it's going to happen again, G-Clef.
Yeah, because 2v2, we just have so many spells. Once it's down to near 600-700, we can kind of see what's going to happen. As long as you had semi of a defense, you can just throw all the spells and take the tower. That's usually what happens in 2v2, but not the same story in this 1v1 what we're about to have.
Benzorino with his cap flipped backwards, and he is ready to play, and he's ready to beat out Beaver, even though he has banned out the fireball, hoping that will be the key figure for him, Beaver, to find a lot of success against his Southeast Asian player. But so far, it seems like Southeast Asian players, one by one, has looked stronger than their opposition from anyone that has been brought up from Korea.
Yep. And the Giant Ban, not really targeting Beaver too much. He's a Tornado Master compared to all the other Korean players who just love to use Poison and Graveyard. And he actually does not go, he goes for the cheap cycle, but not the barrel. So he has a lot of decks in hand.
Benzorino, 6,601 on his trophy count currently, and that's going to be what we're going to be looking through if those trophy counts really count for themselves. That's a very high count, and he has really proven himself all this time, being a medalist, and also continue on with his success, getting lots of very important wins for his and own team in Clash Royale League Asia.
Fireball Log Miner has been the most played card for this player, but Fireball's banned. And when those times happen, he actually switches to the Lava Hound. Let's see if that happens at all against Beaver tonight.
And we're going to see Beaver can get the win against his opponent to help his team get at least a glimpse of victory. And it seems like OP Gaming was struggling, and it seems like Sandbox is now struggling. Will they win out the set 2? Let's find out if Beaver can do it. Benzorino coming in from Chaos Theory wants to beat out his opponent, Beaver from Sandbox, once again here.
Giant Ban may just be hints of what we're about to see later on. He has played on Expo with that giant
Lava Hound.
band as well.
Definitely looks like it right now. Benzorino. Oh, I was wrong. Yeah, brings out the
Well,
Royal
wrong.
Hawk.
We were expecting this with the Fireball band.
Sure, but you know, we are looking at, obviously, the Royal Hawks, very understandable of a pick for Benzorino coming through, but
That's also the reason why Bieber had his own Valkyrie, just in case his Hogs are let out all the time.
and bring out the poison from Beaver, knowing that the Fireball has been fanned down, and his Flying Machine is still at work here, uninterrupted for most cases now, and you can see the bats taking good work, all these units coming through it. And it seems like only about 21-26 on the right side as we still move on with this game.
Tombstone that will buy a good amount of time, even from the Magic Archer. With the Mega Minion just cleaning up duty here.
2150, not
What
enough.
is Spencer actually holding?
It's worth knowing because it seems as if Beaver has everything. A very unconventional deck, and we're gonna see what this happens here. He might be just waiting for that double elixir time for him to finally reveal what that last card is, but Benzorino still well at work trying to cycle his Royal Hogs.
Well, we can see the hand. It's going to be the log and the poison, the two spells that we're missing. So cheap cycle for the Royal Hogs. That's what he is looking for. And against what Beaver has, actually not that bad. It's going to be done to lots of poison damage. That's to remove Tombstone as well.
Now, what does Beaver have? That's the big question we're asking now. The
Minor Flying Machine it's a good. I would say it's an okay winning condition, but he's got to be holding something.
Oh, Lava Hound with Minor. The Flying Machine, Valkyrie, Mega Minion. Understandable now that we see it, but very unconventional for what we saw from Beaver right now.
How about the quicker pushes? Coming with the Royal Logs onto the left, Mega Minion actually doing a good job. Tombstone bought a good amount of time too.
You see the Rascal Girls doing a pretty good job of sniping down this Lava Hound, but will do no further as we still see early movement going on to all ways, and Minor coming through to destroy out this Magic Archer, but you can see just a quick cycle on the other ways here. The Minor with the Lava Puffs doing a very good job, but will go down in the end. 763, heavy damage taken on the right side for Benzorino.
But Benzer, he's got two. So over time, we only have 11 seconds. Lava maybe a little too slow. Let's see how Benzorino actually defends this one with Royal Ghost actually hitting onto the left one. That may be really close.
You can see the Royal Hawk just now charging onto the right side. It's going to be a race in the end. Tombstone slowing things down
Minor
here.
Lava.
The Minor will be getting the job done. That's going to be it. 63, and one more hit from the Minor is going to confirm the first game victory over to Beaver. And Benzorino was trying to just go for the chase at the end, but did not get it.
Just knowing that the focus will be on one side with the Hog, he was ready for that Tombstone. Placed that Lava near that bridge. He has the speed, he doesn't need to wait all the time for it to come. Sometimes even the pro players will make a mistake and have Golem or the Lava Hound all the way back when we only have 15 seconds left in the game.
Taking the first loss of this series, we're going to see Benzorino and the rest of Chaos Series call their first and only timeout. So hoping that this extra minute will save the cause to come back in this series in this set to get 2 more games out of the way for them. Clean out this game very, very easily. But Beaver looking strong in that game that we're on. Wants to continue to see what he can do in this game too.
Yeah, in this game, Minor was actually told to delete the Magic Archer and do some damage to the tower once it was used. Once he just had to get enough damage down to the tower, that's when it was used as an offensive tool. Lots of defensive use onto the Minor. Seems like he had got his cycle perfectly against Benzorino.
Well, this timeout is going to be opting for an extra minute for Chaos Theory, especially Benzorino, who looked very confident coming into this one and was looking like he was going to just 2-0 sweep out Beaver. We know as Beaver being the original OG coming in from Korea, and was not going to go down so easily here, and finds out that he's still a pretty good player that can play decent Clash Royale, and beats out Benzorino for game 1, but I wonder what he's thinking now as we move on to game 2.
Now, it's really hard to predict what Beaver's going to have because he does bring the meta decks, but it's always adapted with few different cards that he likes to play personally. It's really hard to snipe him, and that's kind of shows what he had in game number 1. Lava Hound all of a sudden, he was not really showing that. It seemed like he had really cheap cycles until that moment. Benzer just had a very low idea until later on that he could see that Lava Hound. He had, of course, hard time defending against it, because he would have loved to use that poison as an offensive tool to do the damage, to keep the hogs alive and to damage the tower, but he had to use it against all those pups all the time.
You're gonna get the moral support from your teammates, from Benzerino. After that extra minute has now been spent, it is time for Benzerino to see if he can come back into a reverse sweep on this set 2 to really close out the series in a very clean fashion. But Beaver, we know that this player is not going to easily allow that to happen as we move on to game 2 to see if Beaver can pick up another win and go to another King of the Hills at this night's game. We're going to go into game number 2. Let's find out. Back at it once again, Beaver. Banning out the Fireball, did bring out the Royal Hogs. Was going to be his answer to the prey here, but Benzerino bringing out the Royal Hogs did not find too much success last time around. Just going to start off with a very, very early 3 Musketeers.
So with the poison, that's not a bad option for Beaver either. She just has to worry about the left side most likely. Not the perfect poison, but this push is a giant barbarian hub all of a sudden.
It doesn't even have the log or anything like that. It seems like the Fire Spirit doing a pretty good job, but look at all this damage coming through on the left side.
And Musketeer getting almost 4 hits.
And look at this Royal Ghost. It's going to get the tower. Almost. 121.
Oh, that's going down with a few spells.
You would have to understand
Fireball above, yes.
Exactly why Benzerino picked up that 300 Musketeers early in this game. Just to ban out the poison and really have nothing else for the Royal Ghost, and also with the Royal Hogs coming in.
And that's the thing, if you have a perfect hand, when you want to push for it, then it's less of a risk. When your opponent has a perfect cycle against the 3 Musketeer, well, that's a tough one. But once you don't know what your opponent is actually holding, that's the moment to go. And he has risked it in the beginning, worked out sort of.
We're going to get the Musketeer, at least one of them, to die to that poison damage, but still one of the Musketeer on the right side still well at work, and the Flying Machine won't take things down, but it will go down to the poison eventually here, but this Flying Machine is going to go down, so it's not going to continue on with a lot of damage to supplement this existence of this good mini Golemite onto the right side, so not the best of attacks for Beaver to start things off here.
It's a really heavy defense with the Barbarian. If he has this alive to push it with the Golems, that's going to be that's going to be the power source later on in the game. But only 50 seconds left.
We're going to see that one little Musketeer splitting away from 2 to take care of all these Barbarians coming in from the Haunted. It's Royal Ghost charging in now, and we're going to see pretty good value of this poison now, but what this is going to lead all to, because it seems like this golden push is going to be stranded for the time being now.
Take down the Hut. Wants to have his own golem push Musketeer, and Hunter just destroying that golem, putting every bullet in its body.
Not even allowing the golem to get itself into the tower here, and the Royal Hogs just charging the Hunter in, and that wasn't the initial strategy now, but we're going to see the Fire Spirit doing a pretty good job with the 2 of the Hogs, but the other Hogs still doing a pretty good job of putting the work done now.
Let's see, 2 seconds, and that's going to be game.
That's it.
A comeback from Benzerino in this case.
And it looks so clean doing it. I mean, you summon out that 3 Musketeer as one of the first cards you play from the very beginning of the game, and you know exactly why he did it. Banning, just kind of baiting out the poison. And literally you have nothing else for the Royal Hogs that came in on the bridge.
Well, Joe, I said that Beaver is a player who plays a meta deck, but with some adaptations. But this one was a really, really heavy slow push, which could have worked against a similar Golem type or Giant, even a P.E.K.K.A maybe. But against this fast-paced deck, cheap cycle from Benzerino, not the right deck to bring in for game 2.
And one would usually assume, right? I mean, coming in with a 3 Musketeer deck, that's going to be a heavy deck also, but playing it so aggressively from the very first moment of that game, Benzerino showing who his boss and really made himself count on this game 2 now. Going to game 3, probably really confident about this last one.
Barbarian Nut, every single time it appears in Royale League Asia especially, just simply does not work out. Hut not really getting the value too much when there are so many spells out now. And then the Hogs just diving straight into it. Unless it's a good bait that you're going to get value out of all the time, which there are lots of other tools with cheaper ones like the Bomb Tower. Even the Inferno Tower sometimes.
Which we're going to see one timeout being used, as this could be the last game for the side of Sandbox. If Beaver does not find a win here, we see the reverse sweep happen from Benzorino. This game 3, that leads to a win here. Beaver, for how much he tried to get this win over to his team will go down as the second team to go down from Korea against Southeast Asia today.
It's going to be maybe the end of the second match, but Chaos Theory just one more game. Benzorino, he has swinged once. He did once again. He has the potential. He will be the player that has the potential with the guts to actually bring it back. If he loses, it can go to set 3. Let's see who's better. Comes down to set 3, but you would love to finish it right here, of course.
That's what you're wanting if you are Chaos Theory. You are patting on the back of that one player who could make all the difference here. Benzorino has done it in Game 2 in such a fashion that wants us to think that it might just happen once again in Game 3. But Beaver, on the last string, really has to bring the win for his team to have another chance to come back in this one. It's still OP Gaming, really a fight to the last straw, but now it is Sandbox's turn to see if they can get themselves into set 3 here. Benzorino looking to finish things off against Beaver in this game number 3. Let's see who gets the victory. Telling them each other's good luck and a little bit of thanks coming in from Benzorino. No thanks coming from Beaver, but that's fine.
It's just the response.
That's all it is. All these emotes, man. The emotes games are pretty strong in Clash Royale, as we already know from our own casual games. See what happens from all this, though, because Beaver.
Ice Golem once again with. But
Hog
nice
Sack.
Hog.
Are we seriously going to get the 2.6 Hog Cycle to start with this one? But it is going to be the Tombstone instead of the Cannon. So
3 hits.
Yeah, that's actually very huge. So with this Ice Wizard coming through, it's going to be a very good counter against these Royal Hogs. And just add that with the Tornado. It's going to do wonders with this Mega Minion. It's looking so good. This Supplemental Poison on the offensive end is only going to get damage onto the tower, but nothing else from it.
Not too much compared to the one Hog Rider, but she like nothing. Here's a Tombstone this time.
On whack, and it gets all the skeletons away. Will get that one swing. Won't get the second, but it will look like it's still a very good push for Benzorino once again here.
Yeah, that's all he needs every single time. A single hit from the Hog. As long as he has a Tornado with the Ice Wizard slowing it down, I think he's got a good defense.
You can see the Ice Golem just stopping the damage from the Rascal Boy, but damage coming in from that will not be hesitated, but we're going to see this Magic Archer just clearing the way from all the damage that can come through. Now the Royal Hogs on the other side, for the side of Beaver. You can see the Magic Archer doing a pretty good job of clearing out the skeletons, allowing the Hogs to do a lot of damage and can get free damage of his own. Now look at all of this. 382 on the right side, 3 digits now, and some more as Beaver looking like he's in charge.
See, he was collecting that for the perfect moment with the Psycho Archer getting really good value, deleting 3 units plus the Tombstone, all the skeletons, even the tower damage. He can do the same, he will get the tower for sure.
I see this Tombstone still be very much of a nuisance if you're playing the Hog Rider deck, not even getting a single swing this time around, and once it kicks down, meaning that Beaver probably going to get the tower in time. Looking like his chances to win this game 3 is now bumped very high.
Yeah, Beaver, he's holding in for that log and that poison, looking for his perfect defense. Only has to defend for 30 seconds now. That's going to be his game.
All it is, and 25 seconds left to go, and Beaver pretty much has this in the bag. As long as he doesn't take any swing from the Hog Riders, that will come through later here, and one more log is needed. That will eventually finish off this game here. G-Clevin, good game. It's going to be called by Benzorino, meaning that he has pretty much accepted this defeat and will go down to his poison in the end. 28 down to 1 HP. That will be Beaver. We got this game 3 taking us to another hill.
Seems like the 1v1s are certainly going a little better for the Korean teams here. Chaos Theory had that 2-0 on that 2v2, but we are going to that set number 3. King of the Hill once again to decide the winner for the series. Let's see if Sandbox can keep that 1-1 momentum, or is it going to be same patterns over and over again when we go to the King of the Hill? Southeast Asian team just having a sweep. Once again, that's possible, I think.
I do wonder if Benzorado didn't have to drastically change his take from Game 2, which looked so successful, but Game 3, bring out the Hog Rider cycle. That wasn't even the fastest cycle. Bring out the Ice Whiz, bring out the Tombstone instead of the Cannon, and oh man, we are now wondering what would have happened if Benzorado stuck with that Game 2 victory in hand. And now he's going to be looking back at his mistakes and really wondering what could have been all the difference here. And Game 1 going over to Beaver, and Game 2 going over to Benzorado. We thought that Game 3 definitely could have been towards the Southeast Asian side.
Yeah, with that Fireball ban, I think Royal Hogs were just the key to winning in this matchup.
So good.
Yeah, with the single hog, you can drag it to the Tombstone. Once you got the Mega Minion, the Royal goes to actually do the damage as well. The first one was really good, hitting three shots after 1 shot each, and then never really came to close after. The regular hog not really getting too much value for Venzer.
I mean, for me, if you have the Fireball banned out, I see no reason why not to play a Royal Hog. Even if you have all the defense tactics in the world, you can have the Mega Knight. You don't care if you have that, but without the Fireball, it makes playing the Royal Hog so much easier, and you saw that. Basically from Game 1, 2, and 3, the Royal Hog usage came to a very, very good usage for all the players here, and that kind of wonders to me why we didn't see very much the Fireball base. Talk about that Magic Conjurer doing a very good job without the Fireball. And obviously the Royal Hogs doing a very good job equally so. We're just wondering if Benzorado could have played that better, but what we're going to get is going to be him losing out to Beaver, and we're going to get a King of the Hill for the set 3.
Yep, and Game 2, I think with the Barbarian Hut, he was just trying something else that's not really too in the meta. That's quite rare to see. That heavy of a push with the Golem. We're going to get that time to have that roster set for both teams and select that ban card as well. I wonder if they are going to keep that Fireball. That will be an interesting one if they want to go for the King of the Hill.
I really do find Fireball being a very interesting ban in 1v1 scenarios, and you are literally just telling your opponent to play the poison. If you don't have the Fireball, you're going to get the poison. You need at least one of those mid-tier spells with that 4 elixirs. But, bringing that forth, we do kind of have that Magic Archer being so prevalent without the Fireball. Just getting 1 shot usually by that 1 spell, but the poison takes a lot longer to take it down eventually. But, we got a very interesting matchup from Beaver and Benzorado. We thought that Beaver would just kind of give in to the pressure that was going to be Benzorado so being dominating over the past couple of weeks. So, Beaver did very well. Now we're in the King of the Hill. See what Sandbox can do.
Yeah, let's see. They have their fourth player for Sandbox, Sado today. For Chaos Theory, Ray Bagus. So not really the known team, not really the known names for 1v1 too much for either teams. But let's see if they actually put them into the King of the Hills. I think Connie, Thunder, a lot of those names from 2v2, JTV, even Carlos, they play a lot of 1v1 as well. So we can just have all the 6 players that played today already.
Ray Bagus, I was actually going to say that he might not play because he has basically been the 4th player to not play, allowing the other 3 players to play out. But Benzorado will be number 1 with Ray Bagus going as number 2 with Careless coming in as number 3 playing with JTV, kind of sitting on the bench on this one. But for Sandbox, we are going to go back to that Fireball ban once again, as we were kind of referring to. And Thunder, Beaver, Sado, in that order, will round up the roster for the King of the Hill.
That's right away, Bagus. Perilous for Chaos Theory. And let's see how that works. Fireball ban continues. We saw what could happen. And Royal Hogs became the winning card, but both of the players, I believe it's going to be one of the safest cards to actually use, because you only play 1 single game, not the best of 3 in this case.
And we are going to see the Lava Hound ban for Chaos Theory just for notification, and that means that all the decks are pretty much open, up in the air for anything to play for it. They got the giant 3 Musketeer cards along with a Minion Horde, along with, you mentioned it, just talk about it, Royal Hogs being in that mix. Every one of those Fireball baits can be such a huge tool for the scenario here, and the P.E.K.K.A can be so prevalent in these King of the Hill, as we saw from earlier from Manong GP coming from Bren Esports, making such good usage of it.
Yep, and because we are expecting poison, that's why we don't really see Graveyard too many times when the Fireball is banned down. Because once Once it goes to Graveyard Poison, it takes a long time when we have a mirror matchup as well. But eventually it actually ticks down with some skeleton damage. Poison, of course, doing damage to the tower. It's going to be a thing. So expecting Poison, that really usually does not really come out. Rarely, just using the reverse psychology comes out, but not really effective against Poison all the time. We often, with the Fireball ban, very rare. One of the lowest win rate with the Fireball ban. So not expecting that one to be played at all.
Well, about the heavy decks that will come through, the 9 elixirs from the 3 muskies, and you got the giants, you got the golems. You don't have the lava hound as he was just banned out, but still can mix that with the P.E.K.K.A and even the balloon being prevalent in some of these decks here with the miner. Probably going to be expected for some of these players, but we have a lot of hypotheses up in the air in terms of what the players might be able to pick to bring out in this game. But Benzorino, after taking that loss, wants to really show the world that he's no longer a player to really laugh at, because that last loss that he's taken doesn't really reflect him as a player of what he can accomplish.
Actually pinning out Fireball, which he plays the most, and the Lava Hound that Benzor likes to play of his own. So kind of a self-ban there as well, but he's got a lot of other backs, lots of cheap cycle decks. He's a really great player. Even back before this patch had really good cycles. It's not with the Princess, but with some extra Valkyries, actually Hunters as a defensive tool. So he can add up into some new cards as well, not just Beaver from Sandbox.
We are looking at 1 more minute as we allow 3 minutes in total for both teams to kind of get this newly introduced bans and to think about it some more, and with the teammates just plan out their strategy for what they're going to be bringing out in this game number 1 of this King of the Hill. It's going to be up for Thunder going up against Benzorino to see if Thunder can beat out Benzorino in this first round. That will be a very good standing for Sandbox to carry on through, because that will give him the best chance to win this all.
Thunder played a lot of 2v2s, few 1v1s in King of the Hills, but when he does, he actually brings out that barrel. And we don't have any really crazy bans against the barrel like the Rascals or the Log. So if he actually feels like it, maybe he can go against Spencer, who's actually known for his cheap cycle spellbait decks of his own. So if he wants to have a face-to-face punching match, that could be the choice.
Go head-to-head is something that we're referring to right now, because it seems like Benzorino, after taking that loss, he's definitely ready to pick up some wins here, because he definitely needs the first morale at least. So we do have the 3 minutes being taken away. Now the players should be ready with Thunder. We're seeing him for the very first time on this 1v1 stage. He was on that 2v2, didn't win out. So Spartakani gonna get the win, but can he get a win in this 1v1, this King of the Hill? Beating out Benzorino will be key to Sandbox to really up their chance to get a victory. Let's see if he can get it done in this game 1 between Thunder and Benzorino. Thunder going up against Benzorino, and talking a little bit with the referees. I'm sure Thunder has maybe something that he wants to bring up, but seems fine to go, as we're going to see 10 elixirs to full, bringing out the Royal Ghost, and now is Golem in charge. See what we can do.
The 3 Musketeer of his own. The Fireball ban, very expected. Spencer, he will get the first scratches, and this Ice Golem, with this Ice Golem really far away from the Musketeer. There goes the Hog.
Okay, we're going to see pretty much the other counter, as we say, of the Royal Hogs. That's going to be the Mega Knight destroying out the 2 Muskies, and also we're going to see the destroying of all these units to the Royal Hogs as well. So let's see this Hunter, see what he can do. All the damage being done here, and gonna allow the second hit to not come through, and gonna get that 1 hit along with the minions helping out with the damage, and the Royal Ghost now at work.
Yeah, Thunder, I think he wanted to have that Ice Golem dragging the Knight as
The
well.
Mega Knight, yeah.
But it was just 1 square away to the left, I think. It's not a crazy one, but with the Hunter alive, I think he could have got both the Mega Knight and potentially the Ghost as well.
Yeah, it would have been the perfect situation if we had seen Thunder get that drag away with the Ice Golem, while the Hunter gets all the job done against the Mega Knight, but did not happen there, so it ended up taking a lot of HP in that trade. Now the three Muskies back out again with this. You see the Royal Ghost not going to get too much with the Infernal Dragon and melting things down, and the poison now very much in effective use on the right side going up against the two Muskies.
Those two going down very soon with just one swipe from the Royal Ghost. He doesn't really have to worry about too much. Actually, he did damage to the tower as well, so poison getting some value at least every single time.
We're seeing that once again through the miner, very much expected, but still not going to get there in time. The chip damage is quite real in this instance, and Thunder not finding too much answers for all these minor chips that are coming in.
They're trying to line up this time perfectly with next ice school in this case.
Poison doing a very good job on the right side, but one little muskie just trying to get to the other lane, but no hard time doing so.
There's that one and actually goes for the right side. Which one do you defend?
I mean, the Mega Knight is going to be an automatic answer anytime you do see those Royal Hawks coming in, but this left side is going to be very much as a tool here for this miner to get the damage through. But now the DragonX does work this time around, but this Mega Knight is going to be surely moving on to the left side now, see if we can get any charge through.
Much better one with the Ice Golem Drag, but Ghost is doing too much work. And the Miner actually did a lot of damage to the left as well. The Benzer, he has lots of options to finish the game. All in push from Thunder now.
We know the Mega Knight is always here all the time, and he's going to be rushing in towards that Hunter. He's not even going to allow that second hit to come through. The Miner will be good enough. And we're going to see the zap away, and eventually the finish that will come through with one more poison, but probably not even needed as the Mega Knight would have gotten the kill anyway. We're going to see Benzoraido come back into form and gonna win this first game of the King of the Hills. Gonna wait for a second opponent to come up on stage.
Yeah, even with that loss against Beaver in that 1v1, 2-1. He has got the second game. Continuing that momentum. He's got the first one down. So he faces Beaver once again. Next one up for Sandbox. Will he actually bring it back this time? Seems like he has a lot of other decks prepared against that Fireball ban.
And with a face to defeat on Thunder, we're going to see if the opponent can bring out something decent in terms of the second man out. We're still wondering whether Benzoraido will be able to keep his composure. Looking comfortable for now after winning that game 1, but game 2 ought to be just as important as we gonna move on to the next one and see if Benzoraido can continue.
We can have hours and hours of Clash Royale, and it will be enjoyable time. You can enjoy it all day long.
Or all night long, because it's way past the night time, as we're already 2 hours and 3 minutes into our broadcast and still not sure as to which team is gonna take the second series. We still have one more series at hand for this Friday matchup, Ben.
But look at him, he's ready.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
ready to go, waiting for his opponent now. Beaver, just come up once again. I'll beat you this time.
That's just looking for the revenge. This time around is exactly what is on the mind of Benzoraido, and Chaos Theory, a lot of success so far. Just about one more win away from a surely convincing expectations for Benzoraido that he will probably take the whole thing home, but Beaver's back out once again, and one more minute. This Fireball and the Lava Hound ban now. See what Beaver can come up with.
Just not the Barbarian. Other than that, I'm fine. I think we can all agree that Beaver is a great player, except for that one that he had some mistakes in game 2. It's a deck choice, a weird one, a rare one. We don't really see too much with the Golem, but we have seen all the decks from Benzoraido, and maybe he has a few more to change within the amount of time. But Beaver, he saw the first game. Pretty sure he feels ready for it, especially against that Mega Knight.
And look at where he stands in that 1v1 Beaver. That's that 4 wins and 1 loss. He wouldn't have got that 1 loss if it wasn't for that Barbarian, huh? But all the history aside, all the past mistakes aside, it is going to be Beaver. He wants to bring his team back into form, and beating up Benzoraido, as we say, being the final boss, being on the first stage, doesn't seem like a fair proposition altogether for Sandbox, but you are looking towards Beaver, who has beaten him before, and probably is looking and thinking that he can do it again.
Benzer is the player. When you need to clutch for the team, he will bring it for the team. But Beaver, he had his streak against Detonation as well, having 2 wins and 1 loss after.
Beaver coming back after winning against this opponent. He's back at it again. Benzoraido looking like his opponent is not going to be as strong this time around. A rematch between these two players. Let's get the game 2 of the King of the Hill Hunt away. Here we are, Beaver. After he beat out Benzoraido last time around, wants to do it again. Can he though? Because it seems like Benzoraido now has really picked up the strength and looking a lot stronger now.
Last time he has started with that Musketeer. That's been one of the two that he actually used. Seems like we're off to a different one. Along a staple card that Beaver loves to use, along with the Tornado and Miner.
You're going to see Valkyries on both ends here. What does that mean altogether? We're going to see the Musketeer.
We're about to see that Hog Cycle for Beaver.
Well, it is going to be a Valkyrie, so it's not going to be the official 2.6 cycle, but as you do say, that we might get something here. The Fire Spirit, once again, making it not too official once again. Look at this, and the Tombstone is eating the damage from the Fire Spirits, but all the way through, just a Log Cycle of Beaver is going to be what he's opting for now.
He wants to cycle for his perfect moment. There's a Hog from Benzer first. Beaver just has a late placement on the Tesla because he usually gets the drag.
Oh, so a little bit too low on that instant. If he plays that one tile higher, Beaver, that Tesla would have dragged in the Hog Rider just finely so.
I think he was also late on that reaction a little bit.
A little bit of positional and timing mistake from Beaver on that one. And the Lightning, it does get pretty good value, but so you can see pretty even on the trades now, and really Benzoraido, he has all the time in the world to plan out his next attack.
So with that Tesla getting not as much as value, because Hog actually got straight hits into the tower.
I think Beaver has an Expo deck. I can say it for myself, and the Musketeers coming out here, and the Lightning, it pairs up very well with an Expo, but Hog Rider getting that one swing. We'll see what happens here. Probably just gonna wait for that 1 minute mark for Beaver to maybe reveal his final card, which is gets to be an Expo.
It is a really hard. Especially when there's a Tombstone blocking in his path all the time. Lightning.
Oh man, even the Log doing a good job just making sure the Hog Rider doesn't get through it now. Has all the advantage in terms of elixir, and Tesla will be doing a good job of targeting out this Hog Rider along with this Valkyrie and this Fire Spirit, just trying to get any type of chip damage onto one end here.
Yeah, now that's a good Tesla placement. What you need exactly, you need to be waiting right there with the Valkyrie every single time when the Hog Rider is expecting that. So you do have near perfect defense, but what can you do with your own attack? That's what he's trying to make right here.
Just a little bit low on the Hog Rider just to make sure the Valkyrie can get in front now, and we're going to see the Lightning come through, and now we're going to see the final card being a Tornado for Benzoraido, and that's a disaster for Beaver, who is looking for this Hog Cycles to finish off this game, but 960 on the right, and the Mega Minion will get the finish here. Beaver will not be able to win out against the Hog Cycle of their own, and Benzoraido showing who's the better player this time around, winning all the matters, King of the Hill. Once again, a second win going over to Benzoraido.
When you're expecting the Hog, you should be just having that Tesla in your hand, just trying to have the perfect timing to drag it away in right at the center.
Yeah.
So that both of the Princess Tower actually locks onto the Hog Rider all the time. That's exactly what you need. I think he was under prep for the Hog Rider in this game, which was just a few damage away for his own Hog Rider to actually do tower, because he had the lightning spell to do more damage to the tower directly over time.
We know we can speak very fondly of Teslas because we're both very avid users of the Tesla. You holding a level 13 Tesla, me holding a pretty junior level 12 Tesla, trying to level that up pretty soon here, Jake. But, we're still knowing exactly how to face up against a Hog Rider deck when you do have a Tesla in hand. And Beaver just taking that first series of damage really cost everything, because 3 Spore swings that can come from a Hog Rider literally change the tide of the game.
Oh man, you do not want to have any swings from Hog Rider.
No.
There are lots of ways to just drag it away to do less damage, but it's so fast. Once you are late on the elixir, if you don't have enough, if you are late on the reaction, then you just cannot defend it perfectly. So down 2-0, and Chaos Theory winning this big time. Last one to go is Sato.
Deja vu. Once again, we're down in this situation where a Southeast Asian team wins that 2v2, loses that 1v1, comes second this King of the Hill, and that one player that lost in that 1v1 from Southeast Asia beats out 2 of the players from the Korean team. And this is a script altogether, and it's happening the exact same way again. And if this script continues, it ought to be Benzoraido just picking up another victory here against Sato.
Yep, it could be. Last time was Mainland GP from Bren Esports. Benzer against Sato, who's known to be not much of a 2v2 player, actually having 2 great wins on that 1v1, 4-0. But when he came for that King of the Hill, he actually did not have a perfect good counter deck against the opponent as well. He could not really show his skill the most, but just recording 0 and 1.
There's a huge amount of pressure if you are Sato, so not winning for his other 2 teammates. He knows he has to be the one to win 3 in a row. So Sato, not having played this entire series and coming out as that 4th player, trying to be the closing picture, hopefully save this game. He is under a bit of pressure, as we can at least say, against Benzoraido, but see if he can do it here.
Tons of pressure because he needs the 3-0 to actually turn this game around. Let's get into game number 3 of King of the Hill.
Sato and Benzoraido. Benzoraido has been the talk of the town, and for good reason, because he's been looking very good to Goblin Barrel. First time of the day. And obviously you're going to see the Royal goes with it. I wonder if Benzoraido has a log, though. That's going to be a big question. Oh, just the log bait.
Just do not want to use the poison against that. I think he has a Zap, but it's not enough to actually defend against the Goblins. He will take a stab at least.
This Prince along with all of this coming through, and the Rascal, gonna get one Rascal to go down, and with the bats helping out. It's gonna be the least of what we can expect from Benzoraido, but still the big question is, does he have a log here? The Goblin Barrel thrown down, and that's gonna be the log. Breathing a sigh of relief, it's gonna be Benzoraido, knowing that he has a log, has a much easier time in this matchup.
But he does have to keep that log every single time. So how does Sato actually drag it out? Can the Princess do direct damage to the tower? That will be the cycle that we are looking for.
Well, we're gonna get the poison every time the Princess is summoned down. We're gonna get the obviously the log every time the Goblin Barrel is thrown out, but otherwise we're gonna see this Royal Hogs being played out. Very expected once again. But this bomb tower in this log bait deck, I have never seen that before, G-Clip, and probably never gonna see it
Sato's
again.
ready with the Fireball Band. Yes, you gotta be at least ready with 1 card. And he's got it with the barrel.
Here's a fake. Came in, but no log being thrown out, so just gonna eat up all that damage in.
Yeah, he wanted to get the Prince out of the way first and take the damage because he had very low elixir for that log.
Questionable. And I would do say here, your tower down to 1640 already after that one series of barrel that could not be stopped. So, oh man, Benzoraido, sure what he's thinking now is gonna be very interesting. As we still move on from this.
I think these 2 that are fighting right now, Magic Archer and the Princess, will be the playmaking tools for both. Bomb tower pretty unexpected, but Sato's got the defense now.
We're gonna see this come through, and this Magic Archer just doing pretty good on the defensive end of things. And the Princess is here once again, trying to do a lot of damage, and once again a fake barrel being thrown out a little bit high. But it's gonna be caught by these Rascals and not gonna be tricked. So. Sato, I think you just want to play with a little bit of fire, just throw right on the direction of where you want the log to come in, but still trying to play these trick logs, really not connecting here.
Another great bomb power, but this time bats do a little bit of damage, so it's down to 20-15. The main attack for Sato is the barrel. Going out the top right.
Get this, the Magic Archer with the rocket. Very much expected in a log bait deck. And it's going to be pretty good defensively, getting pretty good value out of all that.
He's got the defense with the barrel all the time.
Oh, no log. These bats and the skeleton is going to be the answer, but still takes a little bit of damage from it. So
he's willing to take damage because he wants to set up for a next better attack. But it's not possible for the moment with the bomb. So he has to really use the Magic Archer to survive and do a lot of damage.
You can see the log coming through. This time around, the bomb tower once again very ready to take down all these Royal Hogs from range. And the Prince is moving through. And do they have a real defense for them? The Rascal Boy eating up all the damage. Still moving on to eventual advantage towards Sato. Still moving on here.
Getting locked down by that poison. few shots from the Goblins for the bats, but the bomb tower is always there. So what's the second condition that Benzerito actually wants to have in this case? I think he has to bring that ghost, which is actually not using too many times.
Okay, just gonna go for the rocket cycle now. It's gonna be Sato's planned strategy here, and that means Sato is gonna be aware of this all-in push that will come in on the other side, and Urugo's helping out with the Rascal Girl, just adding to all this damage, but it's not gonna lead to an eventual finish here. Log will be here for these Goblin barrels, but gonna take that one charge for the Prince, but still worrying about that right side.
Yeah, I don't think the left side matters too much. He's got that Magic Archer now, leading a lot, but look at that Princess. Doing so much work as well, just having that area damage.
This once again, the Log is gonna be doing pretty good. All this is not gonna get to the Princess, so will be wiped away. But Aurora goes, and Bomb Tower every time just politically in there. All these damage that will come through, and these bats not getting a single hit here.
The Princess actually really good tool of defensive one for Sato here. This Goblin actually did 1 damage as well, so that's down to 620. So 200 more and a rocket will actually finish the game. Sato's really close. 1 minute to go here.
And the Bomb Tower once again.
Early Bomb Tower reading the cycle, but may lead into a mistake. Let's see.
We're gonna get the Log, get it down to 536. We lose that one Princess hit. It's gonna be pretty good. We're gonna get a side. Goblin Barrel's not gonna get a single stab in it. Gonna get the Royal Ghost to charge in. The Goblin Gang doing a pretty good job, but the Bomb Tower is still there once again. We see that it's out of cycle, but no way, sir. And it seems like 452, is that enough for the rocket coming
20
through
more with the rocket should be enough. So one more Log, one more barrel damage plus the rocket will be enough.
Still not enough.
So 20 seconds. Sato, he knows that he's got this game. 8 more elixirs, that's all he needs.
I think Benzerito knows it all too well. This Log and the rocket will be good enough as Sato looking for the fairy tale story where Sandbox come back from this one. He's already got that 1 game down. Has to look towards Rain Bacchus and Careless now. Let's see if he can do it, and we'll get the extended game. Still, we are not done with the second series. Benzerito was so close, and he's really down on himself for that one.
But he's still got 2 men down from Sandbox, so he should be very proud of himself. Sato, he's got 1 down, still 2 more players to go for Chaos Theory. Ray Bacchus is waiting, Careless is waiting. But that single adaptation because of no fireball, switching that Inferno Tower is usually what you see with that pattern, but Bomb Tower just enough to actually defend near perfectly against that Royal Hogs all the time.
We know what this would have meant if Sandbox had lost that one. That would be the second Korean team to go down to a Southeast Asian team already from this week's series, starting off with a bang for Southeast Asia. Bren Esports did it, and it seems like Chaos Theory was so close to getting it done, but Benzerito 1 game away could not execute it in time.
And that's why we have Ray Bacchus on stage right now. Not really being played, not really on stage too many times. Only 1-2 on that 1v1, and no King of the Hill, no 2v2. It was always the 4th player for the team.
He's been featured on camera incredible number of times, but never really on the stage. And 1 win, 2 losses. So technically, he doesn't have a single series win on his career in terms of Season 2.
Yeah, just like Jerry Song, always on the camera and cheering for his teammates, but not actually playing. It's his time. If he ends a winning streak from Sato, which could be a winning streak this time, that will be a win for the entire team. That's less of a pressure as a second one to go when you only have 1 more to defeat. So
And perhaps Sato is thinking that he might have an easier matchup this time around, knowing that Ray Bacchus isn't the scariest player as we kind of mentioned his name, but will Sato get a second one going, because really the reverse sweep will be upon him if the pressure can overcome that one.
I think he can keep the same spellbait deck if he's actually willing to, because that was a great one against the Royal Hogs as well. Let's see if Ray Bacchus wants to twist his own deck in this next game.
The Ray Bacchus is ready. The forever player coach will no longer be a coach and will come out to be a player in this King of the Hill. 1 more game needed against Sato, who's been looking very strong. Let's see if Chaos Theory will get it done. Benzerito could not defeat this man. Sato looking very strong with that long bait. Last time around, we're going to start off with the Hawk Rider to start things off. The Goblin Gang going to be zapped away, going to allow for 2 swings. Very nice first attack for Sato.
Two swings.
What? What was those bats for?
Just as for a counter bats.
Doesn't work. Right?
Just for the cycle. For
Okay.
your own 3 Musketeers. Here we have him once again with the Fireball ban.
Raybagus has been questioning his opponent's moves, but hopefully we get some better plays from Raybagus this time around. The Mortar will be coming through. Obviously, the Batarang will be doing a pretty good job of rushing things through. It doesn't get the charge. The Mortar will be still pretty safe. Let's move on from here.
But the Musketeer on the left actually does a lot of damage. Here comes the Minion Horde. Zapped and delayed by that zap, but still managed to do a lot. So he takes down all the ground units, but actually a good trade, not so bad.
Yeah, gets himself back on even with the Elixir with kind of 7-8 now as we kind of count along. And Raybagus gets a few hits with those Musketeer on that left, but nothing really to count on here.
Well, with the Elixir Collector, and we can see that he has a Giant all the way onto the right. He has to wait until the Hawk Rider is dead.
That log is going to be so cheeky, and the zap needed just to get down to those bats here in 11-16. In the count now, and still moving on with this Valkyrie and Go Gang combo, and Goblin Gang is doing a very good job, and these Barbarians are not going to hold on forever.
Seems like Sato has a lightning spell, but it's not enough to actually use it onto the left.
Oh, wow.
Actually, what?
Yeah, the Valkyrie swing, they're quite OP. And these Mini Hordes not going to get anywhere, and that Elixir Collector looks like maybe was kind of the astute to his mistake here. And we're going to see the 3 Musketeers down again, 1 on left, 2 on the right, and
He has some time, and he's holding onto a Giant. Wonder if that's ever going to be used with that mortar right into center. There we go.
see this bat coming through and charging in, and see this 2 Musketeers go down, and the Mini Horde on both sides actually still moving on here, and the Giant will not going to get anywhere here. So Raybagus, ooh, if I've seen this before, I think that was when he lost the only time that he's actually played. So
Yeah, made way too many small units, and he doesn't have anything like the poison to predict. You can have Zap, but Zap's only so much of a range where you can actually do damage. 10 seconds.
5 more seconds, and it will be Sato picking up this win. And the Fairy Tail story still lives on here. 1 more opponent to go. Okay, the last 1v1 to decide Hachi Cliff.
Elixir Collector on the late one, and just like what we saw before, kind of. When you put on something like Elixir Collector Golem, you just have your Hog Rider going straight to the tower. And predictive log, that was beautiful to watch. If you know that's happening, if you can read the cycle of your opponent that well, just have that log. If it doesn't land, okay, that's okay. Just you do some extra damage to the tower, you delete that Goblin game. That's the best feeling you get sometimes.
I mean, the Go Gang, you have to kind of wonder. Raybagus used it the first time around to defend against the Hog Rider. That was expected, and got the zap away, that was fine. But the second time was a little bit questionable for me, for Raybagus, where if you saw the log already, and you're going to play that Goblin Gang literally at the same position as you played in the first defense, I thought it was a little bit of an easy prediction for the side of Sato, so a little bit of a kind of pointing the finger over towards Raybagus.
Yeah, it's easy because when you have Hog, you just basically know that Gang will be right at the lane where Hog Rider is trying to go. You're trying to delay the Hog as much as possible and do damage instantly when it goes down. So it has to be around that tower lane right there. So easy prediction with the log. That actually will bring us to the final game of King of the Hill. Game number 5, Sato versus Careless.
Careless, seeing what he can do. Of course, being the last man standing, Benzoraido trying to give the best tips as he can as he has faced off against this player before, and it seems as if Sato doing so well for Sandbox so far, and if he can beat this last player, Careless, and that will be something that this player will be having a tough time for, because it seems like only 1 player had to beat outside, and really no one can do so far.
Yeah. The one with the white hat, we thought Benzoraido got this King of the Hill. Just like the first match, 3-0. What a pattern what we're going to have, but not in fact. Sato just turning it around, having 2 wins in a row, comes down to final game here. As We saw the spell bait, we saw the Hog Rider. Let's see what it comes down to the final game for Sado and what Carolus has it against him right now.
Sandbox looking at their situation now, and you know that Sado's only one game away for an eventual victory. That will be the first victory for Korea starting off in this weekend, but it is in the hands of Sado. Of course, they are already winning out 2 games so far. It's down to his last opponent against Carolus. See what he can do. The last game of this King of the Hill. Incredibly happy about the fact that, you know, we are in the situation where it really goes down to the wire of not really knowing who the better team is, and really that one player can make all the difference here, G-Cliff.
One single mistake can make your team a winning team or a losing team.
Ooh, that's how I feel right now, Carolus with the fire. I am fired up right now because not knowing who's going to win.
I know you're all about the Hog Rider screaming emotes.
Oh yeah, so we're
Oh,
all
that
about
one's a good one too.
I didn't buy the Princess one actually. I only
I
bought
bought it
the
a long time ago.
when it first came out. Like a month ago where it did. Now looking at Sado coming up with the Prince against this Royal Ghost, and very much a naked
I'm gonna
Mega
charge
Knight.
at least, so it's actually an okay one to go. Carlos brings that Mega Knight against Prince, interesting enough. Let's see if Sado actually holds one of the structures to delay that Mega Knight push.
Okay, we're gonna get the Giant to supplement this push coming in, and the Magic Archer will do a very good job. All these attacks coming in. The Miner once again do a very good job of chopping down the Magic Archer, but will not get the entirety of it.
Certainly not 100%, but he still has that Tombstone. So it's less of a worry. Of course, the Mega Knight will delete those skeletons, and just if he jumps on it, it will just almost be deleted really quickly.
Get that one zap towards the tower from that E-Wiz that barely survived out of there, but Sado, we're back to a reset. Literally the same elixir as you possibly could get, and just kind of understandably we'll get the same much of a zap cycling through.
Minion's actually splitting. Let's see which lane he chooses to go. Okay, he's just gonna toss that for the next cycle. Not really going to be used for a crazy attack of his own.
Another card revealed here for Careless is going to be the Infernal Dragon, which will be very good against the Giant push. And Magic Archer was close enough, but does not get to penetrate damage through. So E-Wiz is not going to be surviving for very long here, G-Cliff. We're going to see this Infernal Dragon do a pretty good job, but you can see the Prince again doing a very good job.
This charge has to defend it. Has to be defended. It will be with the bump.
Mega Knight doing a very good job. We're going to see the minions do a very good job here. Oh, look at the Fire Spirit going to waste there in that one smack.
Even the Tombstone. So everything has been put down.
Oh, barely though. That was a lot of elixir spent. Almost down 2, I believe, in that current terrain so far.
Yeah, even after that poison. So a lot of value for Carolus for sure. Both about pretty even. Only 40 HP away onto the towers.
I mean, a minimal difference in deciding who the winner is going to be. And Royal Ghost is going to try to challenge the Prince, but we know that's not going to get done. So a little bit early on the Mega Knight there, just to see what can get done. Charge going in towards that Tombstone will be just fine. This Giant will be just wiped away, melted away by this Infernal Dragon with all his friends coming through.
Yeah, good zap. Actually buys a lot of time for his own poison to do massive damage to all units. Now his own push is coming for Sado.
See him coming in here, just 2 elixirs left. Really no time to stand in. That Mega Knight not really needed it seems like, because it seems as the Mega Knight will get the job done for the side of Sado, but this Miner is still at work here. Very, very heavy duties now.
Heavy duties for with 2 minutes? Only with the Miner, it seems like it's going to be a very tough job.
Might just come to a draw. You know, we might just get our first draw in a King of the Hill of it.
I do not know how much Miner is paid all the time, but that seems like a pretty hard work to do for 2 minutes to bring down the entire tower for himself.
You see this here, the Mega Knight just reach in and go in towards that Giant, but Prince and and also
good
doing a
poison.
pretty good job here.
As long as Inferno Dragon gets to delete the Giant and some damage to Prince, that's going to be okay for Carlos. Mine are pretty ineffective in this case.
I feel it coming. I feel like a tie
What's coming?
might come through. A tie coming through here because we still have about 1 minute and 10 seconds. And HP is quite high for both players here. 13-02 is still very much survivable for Sato.
From what I know from the latest update onto the rules, 2-2. For the title, we do not have an extra game. It comes down to the HP onto the tower.
Okay.
So Sato keeping that tower alive will be very important, but he does not have anything like the miner, which Careless does.
Okay, just still chipping away here. Sato definitely realizing what he's up against and the fire being spat upon. Oh man, this Prince is not going to get anywhere here. The charge will not come through, and Careless seems like he just wants to get the job and bring another win towards Southeast Asia. And the Magic Archer doing a pretty good job with the miner. It's going to be ignored entirely here, and 598 will probably eventually get the tower sooner or later.
That may be enough with the poison with the extra miner just in time. 20 seconds. Prince going on to the left side. But that's not going to be the most significant push that we have here.
That's it, 190. That's going to be 1 point away, or just a couple of hits from the miners away, and still not going to get to any type of prediction, and that will be a good game. Going over to Careless, and oh man, Korea has fought so well for 2 series in a row. Got to the King of the Hills in time, but it is going to be Southeast Asia just a little bit better, but on record, but on paper, it is going to be Southeast Asia still on a dominating scoreline of 2-0 over Korea.
Yeah, that's going to continue. Bren Esports and Chaos Theory now 2-0 for Southeast Asia. What is happening to the Korean teams? Of course, there are lots of close games, especially the second King of the Hill and that 1v1. But the 2v2 certainly going for that Southeast Asia, clearly giving them momentum every single time. Southeast Asia as a whole region, when they actually have a team house practicing together, seems like their power, skill level, deck preparation as well has gone up significantly compared to the Season 1.
And we've seen this before, 2 weeks before. We got Southeast Asia to win 6 series in a row before they lost some in that last day. Meaning that we're back again 2 weeks later, and that's week 6 segment of our CRL Asia Season 2, and it still seems as if the gap, it might be closing just a little bit, but for the meantime, Southeast Asia just that little bit better, and that is good enough to collect 2 wins so far.
Gap might be closing. I think we're way too early to say that right now in these 2 games. Maybe after match number 3, if Korea brings it back, but I feel like Southeast Asia is just having it right now, because the third one is going to be Kicks. Of course, we do have Kings on DragonX coming up from Korea.
Got the best hope of Korea going up against Kicks, a team that is not the strongest team around, but we know Martin has been really on form with his partner Dio Stitch on that 2v2. We know Lampo has been extraordinaire on that 1v1, and oh man, I mean, who is to say that even Kings on DragonX will easily defeat out Kicks? I definitely will not say that one.
Well, we'll have all the time to talk about that later on. But just reminding you the highlight, it was a 2-0. Sato had a great run, challenging the entire team of Chaos Theory all the way to game number 5. It all started when he had the perfect counter with that spell bait barrel with that bomb tower. He was able to bring down Benzerito, went all the way through Ray Bagas and Carlos. Came down to the final game where basically the miner did all the work. I wonder how much he gets paid. A lot for this one.
I don't know miners get paid quite highly, but that one, and I got the win over towards...
If he doesn't,
Careless.
he should get bonus.
Hey, the miner's getting bonus. I mean, he got the fire already up, standing from Careless after he was already celebrating his win in the last one around. And the last-ditch Prince on that left side seemed like the last resort for Sato, but we knew eventually it was going to come to this situation where that one little swing with that shovel was going to be good enough for Chaos Theory to pick up that victory.
And with that, I think we're just about ready to go into the interview. Let's get to hear from team Chaos Theory.
네, 이번 경기 정말 힘겹게 승리를 가져간 카오스 티어리와 인터뷰 한번 나눠보도록 하겠습니다. 자, 먼저 축하드립니다.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. 예. 카스티어리 같은 경우에는 엔투스, 오젠 엔투스도 잡고 그리고 오피 게이밍도 잡고 샌드박스까지 잡고 3연승 중입니다. 일단 소감 한번 들어보도록 하겠습니다.
So you have won against OP Gaming, Sandbox, and also the other team. So three wins in a row. How do you feel?
Kita di Korea dari dalam 4 tim dia kita udah kalahin 3, rasanya kayak apa?
Ya, rasa saya sangat bangga bisa mengalahkan tim dari Korea. Saya sangat senang. Pemain Korea emang hebat-hebat dan saya mengakuinya itu.
So Ben's is really appreciated, really happy that he's able to come here and so far beat 3 teams. And so far all of them are really pro and we're just happy to be able to come here and win.
한국까지 와서 그런 좋은 성적 거둘 수 있어서 너무 좋고요. 한국 선수들도 정말 다들 정말 너무 프로답고 정말 좋은 경기 보여주고 있다고 생각합니다.
네, 일단 기본적으로는 그 동남아 팀들이 한국에 오랫동안 지금 머무르고 있습니다. 한 3주 연속으로 계속해서 머물고 있는 걸로 알고 있는데 3주 동안 머물면서 뭔가 좀 특별한 에피소드가 혹시나 있지 않을까? 3주 정도면 한두 개 정도 생기기 마련이거든요. 어떤 에피소드가 좀 있었는지 궁금합니다.
So it's been 3 weeks since you came to Korea. Any special moments or any special stories you want to tell us?
Udah 3 minggu sekarang kita di Korea. Ada apa yang spesial yang buat cerita di sini?
Ya, kita di Korea sudah 3 minggu dan pada hari kemarin saya dan teman-teman saya jalan-jalan mengelilingi kota Korea dan saya bangga bisa berada di sini, bisa melihat tempat-tempat wisata, toko-toko yang bagus dan semua orang-orang yang ceria-ceria. Mudah-mudahan selanjutnya saya bisa datang lagi ke sini.
So yesterday Benzer and the team went around the shop and take a look at the town. And just really happy to be able to be here, meet all the people here, and hopes that we'll be able to come back again here to continue doing the same.
네, 어제 팀원들과 함께 쇼핑도 하고 시내에 나가서 즐거운 시간 보냈는데 정말 좋은 사람도 많이 만나고 해서 기쁘고 다음에 꼭 다시 또 왔으면 좋겠습니다.
아, 그렇군요. 앞으로의 어떤 각오까지도 또 들어봤습니다. 그러면 이거 정말 궁금해요. 동남아 팀이 생각했을 때 한국 팀하고 일본 팀이 있습니다. 이 두 개의 지역들 중에서 어느 팀이 좀 더 강력한 것 같은지 어떤 차이가 있는지 선수 입장에서는 어떤지 좀 궁금합니다.
So in your opinion, there's Korean teams and Japanese teams. Which teams do you think is stronger and what do you think the difference is?
Sekarang kita ada lawan tim Korea sama tim Jepang. Pikiran Ben, siapa yang lebih susah lawannya? Terus bedanya apa tim Korea sama dibanding tim Jepang?
Menurut saya semuanya susah. Tim Korea dan tim Jepang, mereka berdua tim Korea dan Jepang bermain sangat bagus dan saya berharap juga bisa bertemu lagi sama tim Korea dan Jepang dan mudah-mudahan saya bisa mengalahkannya lagi.
So we've now faced both Korea and Japan, and in Benzer's opinion, both have been equally really strong, really professional as well. We hope that we'll be able to continue playing against Japanese and Korean teams and continue winning.
사실 두 팀 다 정말 강하고 정말 프로다운 팀들이라고 생각하고요. 다음에도 또 같이 대결할 수 있고 또 다시 있었으면 좋겠습니다.
아, 약간 대답을 회피한 것이 아닌가라는 생각이 들기도 합니다. 다 강하다는 이야기겠죠. 자, 그럼 마지막으로 물론 이제 다 강하다라고 생각을 하지만 3연승 중이고 이제 하나 남았습니다. 킹존과의 저기 또 킹존이 있습니다만 킹존과의 대결에 임하는 각오 그리고 킹존에게 도전장 한 말씀 좀 부탁을 드리도록 하겠습니다.
So next you will be playing against Kingzone. What are your determinations? And please say something to challenge them.
Besok kita lawan Kingzone. Ya, buat pikiran Ben kita punya goal apa dan ada apa yang mau kasih tahu dia orang duduk di situ.
Ini ya. Ya, besok tim saya dan tim dari Korea Kingzone akan bertanding. Tentunya saya dan tim saya akan terus berdoa, latihan keras dan mencari permainan-permainan yang baru agar supaya bisa mengalahkan tim Kimson. Dan pesan saya untuk Kimson, jadilah orang yang rendah hati dan tidak sombong.
Tomorrow we're playing against Kingzone. We're gonna continue practicing really hard, continue to pray, do our best, and just hopefully we win tomorrow. And
Pesan saya, jadilah orang yang baik dan tidak sombong.
할 얘기가 많아요. 지금 할 얘기가 굉장히 많습니다.
And lastly, his message to them is don't be, don't be arrogant and no BMing.
네, 내일 킹존 드래곤과 경기를 할 예정인데 저희는 계속해서 준비 열심히 하고 이길 수 있도록 기도할 거고 이길 것이고 또 마지막으로 하고 싶은 말이 킹존 드래곤 팀 너무 오만하지 마세요.
마지막으로 센 거 한 방이 또 준비가 되어 있었거든요. 그래서 약간 부끄러워했던 거군요. 자, 그리고 오늘 사실은 준비했었던 세레머니가 있었는데 보여주지 못했던 세레머니가 하나가 있다고 합니다. 벤저리데 선수의 모습 혹시 원샷 가능한지 준비된 아주 센 게 좀 있다고 합니다. 카메라 딱 들어오면 바로 좀 보여주시기 바라겠습니다.
So I heard you have a special ceremony. Please show it to the camera.
갑니다. I love 코리아로 마무리가 됐습니다. 한국을 사랑하긴 하지만 한국 팀을 정말 격파시켰었던 그런 약간 상반된 그런 모습을 많이 보여주긴 했습니다만 어쨌든 앞으로 또 어떤 모습을 보여주게 될지 굉장히 기대 많이 해보도록 하겠고요. 내일 있을 킹전 드래곤X와의 경기에서 오만하지 말라고 이야기했습니다. 과연 또 어떤 경기를 보여주게 될 것인지 한번 기대해 보도록 하겠습니다. 자, 저희는 잠시 쉬었다 다시 돌아오겠습니다. 경기 아직까지 많이 남아 있거든요.
Next one, the final one, Kingzone DragonX versus Kicks, coming up very soon.
Welcome back, guys, to CRL Asia Season 2, and we're back with finally the third series of the night. Of course, we've gone through 2 series, and it's been an extended series that we got G-Club, and we're getting on to the third one.
Yep, and it's going to be a final series, Kings of DragonX and Kicks. We're about to see them on a video, so check it out.
It's Expo Master.
Expo Master.
아무래도 람포 선수가
네, 람포 선수는 1대1을 굉장히 잘한다고 생각해서
He is a very strong player. He can play in 1v1 or 2v2, both player.
He is flexible in a lot of decks.
람포 선수가 눈에 띌 정도로 잘합니다.
1대1을 되게 잘하더라고요. 박격을 정말 잘 씁니다.
대국상 선수가 되게 불리했던 게 아닌데
我觉得运气吧，如果有抓到卡组，都还蛮简单的。
2대 연습만 엄청 많이 했어요 그때. 1대1 연습을 좀 많이 못 해가지고 그랬던 것 같아요. 저는. 솔직히 말하면 다시 붙으면은 제가 이겨요.
与其说我像第2个 Expo Master， 倒不如说 Expo Master 比较像第2个 Lampo。
운이 좀 아닌데. 하지만 아직 재석정을 따라올 만한 실력은 아니라고 생각해요. 그냥 동남아에서 잘하는 선수 그 정도.
希望这一季都能全部赢，然后我们拿下冠军。
그때 한 판 이긴 거 그거 경기였으니까 이긴 거고 다시 만나면 제대로 실력으로 이겨드리겠습니다.
比完赛我们一起去吃炸鸡吧。
제가 이길 테니까 치킨은 제가 사도록 할게요.
Well, there you have it. I mean, talking about the best players we have here in CRL Season 2, and it just might be the 2 players included in today's matchup of this match number 3. Kingston holding Expo Master, as we always know, and kind of the newly releasing star as we have from the other end, with Kicks having Lampo as well. But let's look at Kingston first. See Big Daddy Ho, July and Expo Master once again ready to see if they can get another victory for Korea.
Yeah, only lost against Sandbox and Bren Esports, having 5-2. So certainly they're the first from Korea, still holding on the first. A little tied with a few other teams now, but still very on top, and they would love to have that first 6, because they will be the only team with that 6 wins if they finish with a win today. And of course, a big storyline between Expo Master and Lampo, but Expo Master hasn't been playing a lot of 2v2, so I don't think we'll have that matchup today.
Well, we'll see if that comes to fruition. We'll not know until we get the starting lineup here. But introducing Expo Master was pretty invested into the 2v2 in recent times. But it is going to be the opponents right here. Lampo standing right in the middle, center and proud. And for all the right reasons. He has been a rising star and really now seems to be one of the best players that we have in all of CRL Season 2. And looking at Dylan, The Rock, Dios Stitch, and Martin, these two players on the very far right with Dios and Martin has done very well in the 2v2 aspects as well. Now it seems to be kind of now the completion of what we're going to expect from the 2v2 roster from this team of Kicks.
Yep, the Dylan and The Rock not really showing themselves too much other than the King of the Hill. The Rock showing himself twice in that 2v2, but it's all the new players for the team. Lampo kicking in end of Season 1. Dio Stitch, Martin coming in for Season 2. They are rocking for that 2v2 for the team. So they will be that staple too. Let's see the rosters.
And we'll get exactly the 2v2 roster as expected from Kingzone and Expo Master. Back to that 2v2 duties once again with Beck Daddy is going to be the 1v1 player to go up against Lampo here. Expo Master facing up against with Ho, going up against Martin, and also Dio Stitch has been very successful for Kicks. So very, very tough matchup for this time around for Kingzone. And last time around, we saw Lampo beating out Expo Master. Will he be able to beat out Big Daddy? I'm sure that the question is going to be very much up to the question now.
Very big, common ones banned out. As a regional popular, Giant Skeleton and the Golem, but which means Tornado is out there. Poison is out there, so all the spells are actually out there now with those two bans of 2v2. The Balloon ban, Big Daddy does not really show himself too much on that 1v1, but when he does have the surprise attack with the Balloon, so that's also very well studied from Lampo's side.
Seems as if Lampo just wants to not deal with the Balloon from his own case, and otherwise he can defeat out anything that his opponent decides to bring. So, but in the meantime, Expo Master and Ho, they got the Giant Skeleton out of the way, but they're not going to have a Golem of their own, which Expo Master really likes to use at multiple times. So, we will see if this will turn out to be a Kingzone victory and maybe a first victory for the Korean side for tonight's games. And starting off the weekend with 3 consecutive losses, not the way Korea wants to get them, especially concerning for the fact that 2 weeks ago they were on a 0-6 losing streak before they got to the very final day.
Oh yes, for sure. And Expo Master, because he plays a 2v2 with Ho, he's not going to face against Lampo, which he did in the previous season when Lampo first played on the stage and then defeated Expo Master with his own Expo. That was shocking for the world to see. And then for the ace match, actually, with Expo Master brought it back for the team. So they're having 1-1 match win, set win, I would say, but they're not going to have that one. Maybe in the King of the Hill, when we get there, maybe we can have a rematch between the two.
If we go.
Yes.
Because that's a big if, as we were kind of always talking about it between the breaks, as how the teams are so closely matched and went to the King of the Hill every single time, and that really brought up the excitement to such high levels. But this time around, it could happen again. Expo Master and Ho really wants to bring the 2v2 game for Korea for the very first time, because it's been lackluster for the Koreans so far, with Kanye and Thunder not doing it for Sandbox, with Chashi and Sungwon not doing it as well for OP Gaming, so losing out 2-0 consecutively for both sets now. This set 1 for Expo Master and Ho, they have to be the lifeline for Korea on this 2v2 matchups.
Well, let's see what Martin and Dios Stitch actually brings this time. They used Giant Skeleton both of the games, I believe, and had a 2-0 because they had near perfect defense. And their minor was doing the most damage with the bats actually destroying that 2v2. Kingzone should know that that was only a week ago. They have all the VODs together. Of course, we had a big holiday last weekend, but still, they should have done all the prep.
You know, we had Royale League Asia still ongoing regardless of holidays. Get that out of there. It's not all about anything else. It's about Kingzone wanting to get a win for Korea. We'll see if they can do that in this 2v2. Martin and Dio Stitch looking like strong oppositions in this 2v2 format, but can Kingzone get the job done? Let's go to game number 1 and find out. And we are looking at Expo Master back on that 2v2 duty, along with his partnership with Ho, and see if they can get the job done with Martin and Dio Stitch waiting on the other side. Very confident about their match now.
You're now in the Dark Goblin. They're dropping because Dark Goblin goes straight to the Princess Tower. It will actually do quite a lot of damage. 4 shots alone by itself. Dropping a lot before, making sure they don't take any damage, only the fireball. Now there's the Expo.
Expo starting it off from Martin and Dio Stitch, literally showing Expo Master exactly how to play this deck here. But we see a Tesla on the end. This might be hinting something different here, G-Clef.
We'll see, but Tesla's just enough to defend. I think we've seen a lot of 2v2. A single Tesla as against the Golem, against some pushes, against an Expo. It's perfectly placed.
And you see a second Expo here on the left side. The Miner defensively just used to get all this defense strength right. And we're going to see the bats here to go up against this Mega Minion. And the Skeleton once again is going to be charging in to see what they can get. The Expo really not going to connect to the tower at one piece here. So pretty good defense for Expo Master and Ho for now.
With level 9 Expo, it's going to be really hard with all those units on the ground. Unless Expo Master and Ho, they want something like Lava Hound. I don't think it's going to land too many shots directly onto the tower.
See the Miner going to sneak into this left tower, but it's not going to fight too much after Skilly Barrel. It's a hard time getting past all these units here. And see the Miner on the right side this time, just going directly face to face against this Expo, but again, not going to find too much on the tower. 2087 is not one. Kicks one out of that one.
About the same. And the winning condition for Martin and Dio Stitch from Kicks, it relies really hard on the Expo and the Rocket later on to finish, maybe to lead all the units together. That's why they're spamming so much in all spots.
Okay, the Expo finally connects onto the right side here. That's going to be heavy damage going toward this right angle here. We're going to see the Dark Prince being stomped down here. The Scary Barrel is going to be still ongoing. I'm sure they have the long board, but not using right now the Zap. That's going to be coming through on both angles here. The second Expo now going to be continuing on with the damage. The Poison just trying to stop it from all the damage that can't come through, but the Fireball doing a very good job of stopping out the damage, and the Tesla just in time to make sure the damage doesn't come through completely. The Dark Goblin doing a pretty good job of stopping the damage, but still ongoing shots, getting it down to 1100.
Chipping damage, some Expo. Actually, the small units are actually doing some work. The Skeleton Barrel and the Miner has to do the damage, but they're busy defending this Expo all the time. The Kings, they have to push something else and really defend well enough against the Expo. There's a Tesla setup already with that Expo.
It's not going to reach the Baby Dragon though. That's a little bit of a discouragement. All the way through, it could have gotten a couple of shots while we were waiting for all of that, but the Dice Wizard is going to be there, and you're going to see the Log finishing it out. All the units here, but the Bats and the Ice Wiz on defense for Martina Dio Switch. See if they can get more here.
Time for another Expo and waiting for that Miner spawn. Do they actually want to wait for the next Expo or direct damage to the tower?
You're going to see a defensive Expo this time around from Kicks, and trying to go for all the damage at 10-16 left, and the Gods and the Skellies just going to be trying to be shifted about, but not getting the prediction on double Miners as we're still seeing the side of Expo Master. We're going to go with the Rocket Cycles now, and trying to go one at a time. 500 exact left on the count here. The Skelly Barrel still ongoing here. The Skelly Barrel not going to connect to anything here. We're going to look for another Rocket, a couple of Fireballs.
The Rocket is coming very soon, so Kingdom, they have to do it now. But they don't have too much elixirs. It's all burned out by all the spell damage from Martin and Dio Stitch. Is it going to be enough? They have the final push with the Poison.
Oh, the Fireball.
Yeah,
the Fireball not even needed on that one. They're just looking for that last Rocket. That will be good enough. The Tesla will get rid of the Dark Prince. One more log into this play should get the job done, and will be enough for Martin and Dio Stitch to get that victory. Kicks team showing Kingzone who is the boss and who is the ownership of that Expo, and showing very good strats. Once again, even the Expo Master having a hard time with that one.
2v2 Expo, really tough. And that Tesla really didn't really come in too handy for Kings and DragonX in this case, because they have all the units clumped up in just one space. Tesla, very strong single target damage, but it doesn't really have the longest range on that. So you need to have it next to the enemy Tesla or the Expo to actually do straight damage.
Really, Expo Master not winning against that Expo matchup. Feeling pretty salty after that one, and it's going to call a timeout in regards to that just to get ready for the next one. And all these Expo cycles quickly and strong with the Teslas accompanying it is going to be the one to bring a lot of success. We know that middle section where the Expo did once connect to that tower for a long time, going to bring that tower all the way down to about 1500, and eventually over the Fireballs and all the Poisons and all the Rockets that eventually came through was going to be just quick cycles all the way, so that was going to be enough for Kicks to get the victory.
Having that big spell quite useful, of course, if Kingzone had a rocket or even double the rockets. I think they could have done a little bit better. Even just using the rocket against the Expo is actually a very good tool. To just not worry about the Expo too much, because once it's hit by the rocket, it only survives for a couple more seconds.
We know that we only have 1 more minute left to go in this one for another timeout that was called by a Korean team, and it seemed as if X-Master not smiling much after that incident and wants to come back to game 2 a lot stronger, but Diosem, Martin, I mean, these two guys have been stellar just in terms of what they were able to accomplish in these 2v2 formats, but these two guys very much in sync of what each other is able to do, and really mistaken-free on that game 1. Show that they're going to be looking strong and really threatening Expo Master to see if he can maybe not collect another victory in this 2v2.
This early of a timeout doesn't really happen too much. It's happening because their 1v1 is Big Daddy versus Lambo, and a lot of us knows where that's heading. A lot better chance for kicks. And Kingzone DragonX also knowing that they cannot actually risk to have a defeat onto the 2v2. If they do, Lampu wins, that's a 2-0. We don't get to go to the King of the Hill. That's a big problem for Kingzone. They would call it early than later. That's the reason why we're seeing this early of a timeout on the 2v2 after first game, which is very, very rare.
Yeah, it's going to be very important for Expo Master to pick things back up together, and along with Ho, we haven't mentioned too much, but he's also a very important aspect of what we need from Kingzone to accomplish things here. But we're not going to waste any more time, guys. Game 2, Kingzone really on the brinks of losing another 2v2 for Korea, but seems like Martin and Diostage looking pretty strong for now. Let's see if they can get another one in this game number 2. Here we are, back once again, and no Expos to be found this time around on the hits of Martin and Diostage, and we're going to find Royal Hogs and Royal Giants to start things off. The Miner just trying to creep in, but the Royal Hogs going to be trapped in. Tesla is not going to drag it to the King's Tower, so a little bit of confusion as to what the two players were trying to do in sync.
At least they take minimal damage onto their own tower. They were trying to do that. Tesla, that's a defensive tool when they have not the perfect starting end. They just have to drop some spells when they need to. I think that's exactly what
the bomb tower is going to be incredibly.
But the cannon card in range, the tower.
Connect, and that's going to be a lot of damage. And Expo Master Ho finding a lot of success to start things off. 738 on the right, and 18-14, not too shabby either on the left side.
Seems like that was all worth. We had that quite big of a push with the Hogs. They have the Royal Giants. They know if that's coming later on. There's a minor push once again.
Tesla does a pretty good job of dragging the piggies in, but the Miner is ongoing with all that damage. Look at the E was still so healthy.
The Hog.
And finally, you talk about that one guard being sent very late to the party here, and the Log will do a good job against all the damage here, and even the Miner being dragged back to the King's Tower. This is an absolute disaster for Expo Master and Ho, leaving the King's Tower open and not really opening up theirs, and with basically losing out on HP on all sides. It seems like Kingzone DragonX might be onto a tough one once again, Chicla.
Well, just 20 seconds ago, you thought you were winning this game really big. This was a really good one. The reason why we have that toss is to have that knockback, so that Miner actually connects to the tower all the time. But that's got to be a lot more effective right now.
Okay, look at this. The bats coming through, and the fireball once again. The dragging back to the Royal Hogs finally to the King's Tower is what they wanted. But it doesn't matter if you drag back to the King's Tower, it's going to open anyway.
Because they want to have their own. There's a bomb tower once again. Another push onto the left side already.
Cannon card is not your answer if you're looking to defend against the Royal Hogs. Good stuff once again, and taking basically no damage freely here. And 661 is something that you're not counting on if you're looking towards the side of Kingzone. Gotta break down the cannon card, and this is looking bad once again. Expo Master and Ho really not communicating with each other, really finding it difficult to win off this one. It seems that this is happening once again.
Yeah, left side looks okay with the minimum damage they did before. Maybe they can get the tower down, but the tornado is way too effective again.
This is it. Second tower card, the Royal Giant is not being accounted for, and now the Miner is going to be just heavily pummeling down, and this Giant Snowball, just 2 stills being thrown out every single time. It will kill the tower, but Sudden death. We know this is going to be into 5, 6, 7 will go down in short time.
With the poison damage, will be down to 300. That's going to be in range with a few more spells. When they get that down, that will be game over.
No, that was the wrong angle. Just the penetration damage that we thought that would come through. A little bit unfortunate there.
Just one off. Just one off, but they're having a great defense even against the miner. Fireball's going to hit, but the counter attack should be coming. There's the miner now.
And the Royal Giant, that's it. Just one shot, 2 shot, that's it. Really, Martin Diostich making this game of Clash Royale look very, very easy. Even against the top team we have in Korea. Oh yeah, they know who it is.
The Goblin sunglasses, yes, we know the emote.
Yes,
that's the perfect one.
Oh my goodness.
You don't want to BM in game, but have the ceremony prepared. Perfect teamwork.
You know what? I see Martin Diostich winning out against Expo Master Ho. You know what that means? Big Daddy does not beat Lambo, in my opinion. And we might not get to a King of the Hills for the very first time.
Well, you might have to pick up on those words. It's possible.
I don't think so. Lambo's so much stronger. I mean, who is going to say that, you know, Big Daddy is going to literally...
But he's the Big Daddy, Joe. You got to listen to Big Daddy.
He's been very small. In recent games, he's been very, very small.
Very small
Daddy. Yeah, the one of the really unconvincing kind. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I do.
Yes, the small Daddy. You know, not really worthless.
The small Daddies are also the scary ones.
He's not scary either. He's just small and not scary. And Big Daddy, oh man, he's definitely not been living up to his name. He's going to be 1v1 against probably what I would say is the strongest player we have in CRL.
Let's wait and watch the replay first, because it was a 2-0. And the pattern continues, Southeast Asia 2-0, 3 times in a row. All day today. Well, Southeast Asia, they have better prepared decks for 2v2. Not even going too much into the overtime. Certainly Korean teams. So they have been prepping a lot. It's gone through the holidays, but there's no excuse when you lose against the match. When you lose your game against your opponent.
And it wasn't necessarily the matchup of decks. I think it was fairly on the side of Expo Master and Ho for Kingzone to eke out a win if their skills were up to par, but it seemed they were outmatched every single time. The 2 players coming from Kicks looked like better duos when compared to Kingzone for every moment of the game.
As you mentioned, Joe, maybe without the Tesla at the beginning, getting the drag into the King Tower with that tornado was just what they needed.
Basically. Just imagine how much more defensive reinforcement they could have got if they just let that King Tower open up with that first set of Royal Hawk.
Yes, because King Tower used to do a little less damage, but now they all do same damage. So it's double that damage from the King Tower.
And that little cannon from the King looks a little bit bigger, but DPS, it has been calculated to now be exactly the same. So
arrows, cannons, same damage.
It's the same, you know. You go to your local blacksmith and tell them, you know, which is the better ammunition. You tell them.
In 2018, it's kind of hard to find blacksmith.
Arrows are highly advanced in 2018. It beats out cannons and sometimes does the same amount of DPS as a really expensive cannon.
Well, that's why we had rockets, 6 elixirs, but it comes down to 1v1. Well, the pattern for today, if we have to continue on the pattern, Korea has to bring it back.
Hey, that pattern is gonna be the one to break, because Big Daddy, if he really needs to win, he needs to really turn it up. He needs to become big, and get good. So far,
his 1v1 record, not too bad. Actually, 2-1 set record, 2-2 on the King of the Hill. So, well, but let's compare it to Lambo here, who actually had mixed result as well.
Okay.
So in terms of numbers, about the same, but in terms of the deck choice and how he actually plays with the counter deck by the opponent, that's what makes this player a really great one. Why all the Korean teams has been choosing this guy as the best one in the league.
Well, Lampo, he has his recognition, he has his reputation, and now he has to live up to it, as we're going to see him go on this 1v1. After his allies were able to win out on that 2v2, this 1v1 becomes very important for this young player. See if Lampo can get things done.
Big Daddy does look a little small today, but he does have to swing it back to his own team. Kingzone DragonX versus Kicks. Let's see if they can continue and go to that set 3. If Big Daddy is able to bring it back, let's get into game number 1.
Here we are. Big Daddy looking like he's gonna be relieved of a lot of chemicals after that one, because he wants to win now. All these things that are coming through from Royale Asia, the border, a classic coming in from Lampo. We know him as a very, very prominent user of this border, and knowing that, he's gonna be brought out.
Cannon and Ice Golem, perfect drag because we basically knew that was going to
2.6 from back Big Daddy, that's what it is. It's fitting the puzzles now. This is looking like a 2.6 Hulk cycle from Big Daddy. All the respects out to Jagger. We're gonna get this Hulk cycle now. Ongoing
the one we says every single region is saying there's no straight counters, because oftentimes you take a shot from Hog Rider.
2.6 is extremely quick.
But a lot of users, a lot of players has been trying this deck. It's really hard. If you make a single mistake, you are done.
It's a master deck, definitely, and you'll see the top players in ranked just trying to go for this, see what they can find from all of it, and something all the way through. We are gonna get this border destroying out the Musketeer. We're gonna see the Miner doing a pretty good job.
Already connecting onto the tower
look at this.
as well.
The cannon is not connecting onto the mortar. It's connecting onto the Miner instead.
Yeah, it was, I think, a square, just a pixel away to the left.
That is not what you want if you're a Big Daddy. That log, you're not going to feel very good about that one.
Because Moro, and same for Expos, you can be one away from the bridge. And you can still do damage because it's got that long range. And Cannon does not, sir.
You can see another mortar here. Can it be stopped through? He's going to miss the Musketeer once again, just going for all the damage through, but not much to come about as we see another Hog Rider being summoned down. Obviously with these bats coming through, it's going to do a pretty good job, and all the Rascal Girls being blown away here, and the bats will take care of the Musketeer just finally here.
Yeah, Lampo kind of reading what's going to come down from Big Daddy. He was expecting a log, that's why the Rascal was off to the left a little bit.
Very, very late on that prediction of that Miner, and the log will clear away the Ice Spirits along with all the damage coming in from that skeleton as well. So these bats do a fantastic job, and it's going to leave the Hog Rider from just one swing here. Another summon of this Miner, not going to predict the justice here. Look at the brilliance coming in from Lampo, knowing that his opponents is going to be reading the patterns here.
Hog Rider, but when the Moro is always there, and you can have the Fireball, it's going to take away your time for the Hog Rider. No damage again, and your Miner always doing a little too much compared to that. This time does not, but
massive
Fireball.
I mean, what are you supposed to do in this situation when you basically have read your opponent inside out and you know exactly what to do? Nothing's coming out. 686 looks like very little HP, but it's gonna be
Miner.
Such an easy win for Lampo, and every little read that he has on his opponent has been pinpoint, and everything that you think your opponent can predict, he outthinks them. This is why Lampo is one of the best players right now.
Lampo with that mortal, I think it's gotta be banned. It's like the Expo of Expo Master,
Literally.
which is not even required anymore because he plays so many decks now. I think Mortal is the card that you just have to ban against this player.
Mortar Master is what he is.
He's the master. He doesn't even have the ID like the Expo Master where he baits out the fan card.
And we know the great effective use of mortar can be so deadly because of that difference. When you play it a different style compared to the Expo and the mortar, it's the difference that much quicker cycles. You do talk about just that two difference of the cards. When you talk about that less elixir cost of the mortar with 4 elixirs compared to the 6 elixir cost of the Expo, meaning that you can play a lot quicker, you can think a lot quicker, and if you can make it work, it can be so deadly on your opponent.
Big Daddy had a lot of damage chipped in. The 3 digits and a little more with that Fireball. I think with that cannon, just being a pixel to the right, actually getting that mortal may just have been enough for him to actually win the game. That was a big mistake seen on this 1v1, and Lampo will take that game 1. You should be ready. Maybe they will keep the same one because that just came down to straight down to the skill level.
And that replay just showed us exactly how the pattern was read throughout by Lampo, and wasn't read thoroughly by the side of Big Daddy. So we are going to go to game 2. Number 1 was looking so prevalent as Lampo showed why he is a masterclass of what we saw from the mortar. Game 2 on the way to see whether they can finish off the game, finish off the series. We are here. Big Daddy looking for some blessings right now because all the more he definitely needs that if he
What
wants
else?
to really
What do you actually bring against that moto deck? Do you bring the same exact deck and try to play it better? That could be a way.
Is there a better deck to play against the Big Daddy?
Yes, he
Whoa,
bring
you bring
in
out your own
the
Melter.
exact same deck and play it, but Lampo's gonna play a different one this time.
I sense a lava loon coming from this one.
No loon.
No loon, so
No balloon in this game.
might be a lava hound deck.
Just with the lava and miner has been the okay combo.
Sure. Miner, literally the same deck that we saw from Lampo last game, and let's see the Hunter now here from Lampo along with the Tombstone and with a little bit this Infernal Dragon with the pass, kind of hinting to us that might be the Lava Hound might be included, but it is gonna be the
Graveyard. With that Ice Golem now on push, with that offensive poison as well from Lampo.
that 9 elixir investment does such a good
The
job.
skeletons chipping in some damage, so that was pretty worth the attack.
17-12 for that heavy investment. Now we have the big elixir lead towards Big Daddy, but really an awkward position to use any type of order if you are playing against this specific deck.
And Big Daddy actually, even with that Rascals, the Goblin Gang Goblins, Bats, on top of that poison, everything will be wiped in seconds.
That's what you're really counting on if you're playing usually a Smash Out deck, but this is a straight up graveyard poison deck from the classics.
So
back
Big
in the
Daddy
day.
might just have to send his miner to his own tower to defend against that graveyard.
Look at that, just Hunter just being there for defensive usage, and he's gonna get just one, not even the more cannon away, and look at this, Infernal Dragon coming in. You have to defend it with the Spirit Goblins, and that means one less defense for that graveyard that will opt to come in very, very soon here.
Few spears tossed, so that's gonna be 100 plus damage. He's gotta land a few of these shots. Tombstones, of course, blocking it. Infernal Dragon, a big problem for him.
Longs here just to get away from the Rascal Girls, and the Hunter is going to be right here. It's not going to be worrying about the Miner just a little bit too much. The Bats will take care of most of the things here, but you can see a graveyard push now with this very, very push coming with the Bats as well. The Spirit Goblins are in line with the Goblin Gang is going to be there as well, but we're going to see the poison right above the Spirit Goblins, and that still is good enough for lots of damage with the Ice Golem taking all the damage.
Yeah, 500-600 is good enough every single time if it lands about perfectly. Look at that
good
Hunter
prediction.
once again.
Good prediction coming from Lampo. This is exactly what you come to expect from this just a high caliber class, and look at all of this. Corner just targeting towards the Ice Golem. You know how worthless that is when you do it every single time.
Spirit Goblins, leading by the Hunter, still survive. There's another graveyard now. He has the poison. But not actually going to use it this time.
Okay, so it's going to save it for now, and I wonder if that was the right choice to do, because of course he had a little bit of elixir deficit that he was working with the Miner coming in. Prediction not coming here this time around, and the Ice Golem just timely soak up all the damage from the Spirit Goblins, and Infernal Dragon's right here to take up all the damage, making sure his mortar does not shoot any one of those cannons over towards that tower here.
Yeah, this will be the real push. Last time he did not really have the Hunter to push along with him. I think that was the reason why he didn't have the poison on top.
It's going to be a huge graveyard push now, and we're going to see the Miner coming forward, then 2 elixirs. We're going to see what can happen from all this, and so close to 91, but that will be it, Lampo.
That's it.
That's it. For the first time, we're not going to go to the King of the Hills, and Lampo showing us who is possibly the best player we have in Clash Royale League Season 2.
That is it. We went to 2 King of the Hills, but Kicks having a different one this time. 2-0, actually 4-0 in game scores. Kingzone DragonX, the first place from Korea. No wins in games whatsoever. They drop. And this is what we have on their desk. They cannot smile.
This is the face of defeat. I mean, see, Kingzone is smiling. I mean, look at this, really smiling. It's going to be Lampo. I mean, guess that Shay just borrows it from Dio Stitch, just kind of just casually, but I mean, look at this team, just happy all around on the right side, the left side, literally just static, not knowing what to do, literally having been blown out. 0 wins and 4 losses on these 4 games that we saw from these 2 teams.
And Joe, I was ready for the story, for that potential King of the Hills, between Expo Master and Lampo, but Lampo does not even bring us to that set. Clean 2-0.
You can't get to the next chapter of the story if you don't deserve to get there, and that's exactly the situation for Kingzone. If you want to get to the King of the Hills, you have to deserve that position to get to set 3.
Yes, if the story ends, there's no sequel. That's basically it. 2-0, 4-0. I did not expect Kingzone to drop like this. 4-0?
But it's perfection. It is perfection being played out by Lampo. He made basically no mistakes throughout those 2 games.
That's basically it. And Balloon Band was perfect against Big Daddy because that was his secret weapon that he used a lot last year, but not too many this year. But we always knew that was his secret last card that was going to be kept forever to the final 20 seconds. But Ban, look at that Lampo just knowing him.
It is as if Lampo knew that Big Daddy was going to copy his deck for the second game.
Yes.
Brought out the ultimate counter, Graveyard Poison Classic. Going up against the Mortar, he had the Infernal Dragon every single time. And the Poison for those Goblins, for those Spear Goblins, and making them literally useless.
And also, great placement of his Hunter, predicting Miner most of the time. Not all the time, but look at that. Hunter's right next to Miner. Seems like that Miner is not going to last a long time.
Soaking up all the damage coming from the Mortar with different units all across the field. It's showing exactly how Lampo, being a master of mortars, knows exactly how to play against it as well. Understands that deck inside and out.
Well, that's the end of the third match. That's going to be the end of the story for day number 1 of week 6. That's crazy to see. Korea going down 0-3. Are we having that week 4 nightmare for Korea once again? We'll have to see.
Let's go over to a translation. We're going to probably see here to
네,
what we're going to get
가져간
from Kicks after that one.
두 선수 모시고 인터뷰 한번 나눠보도록 하겠습니다. 먼저 승리 축하드립니다. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
축하드립니다. 일단은 원래는 인터뷰가 이제 람포 선수로 하기로 했었는데 갑자기 오더니 why not me? 그러니까 왜 나는 인터뷰 안 해주냐 그래서 why not me? 나 진짜 잘하는데 왜 나 아니냐고 자꾸 그래가지고 제가 이번에는 두 분을 갑자기 또 모시게 됐습니다. 자, 일단은 먼저 승리를 가져간 소감 양 선수분께 한번 들어보도록 하겠습니다.
你们2个人的感想，今天赢的感想。
很开心吧，然后也只剩这个在韩国是
The Rock,
最后一个。
so The Rock actually wanted to have an interview
就好好打
along with Lampo.
很开心。
It's going to be
네,
Martin
너무
actually.
기쁘고요.
So.
이제 마지막 한국에서 마지막 주인데 정말 미련 남기기 싫어서
So we
열심히
want to
했고
make sure
네,
that
정말
we
기쁩니다.
left Korea not feeling that we
I'm
could
so
have done more.
excited and so nervous at the same time because we're facing the top Korean team, #1 team. We study a lot from their decks. We almost no sleep. Finally got what we got.
네, 우선 정말 떨리고
no sleep?
기대가
We could see that
됐었어요.
from the band. The Blue
한국의
Band is quite rare,
제일
but
잘하는
they clearly
팀과
did
대결하게
their
돼서 정말
studies.
떨리고 기분이
Preparation
좋았는데
the skills were intact.
네, 이겨서
Very
정말
interested
기분이
in
좋습니다.
how they got the win.
일단은 그 마틴 선수 같은 경우에는 원래 혼자 인터뷰를 하러 올라오라고 했었는데 갑자기 람포를 이렇게 끌어들였었던 이유가 뭔지
As if
본인이
Martin
부끄러워서
wanted to get the interview,
그랬는지
but he
되게
dragged
궁금합니다.
我想问，
Lampo
本来
Lampo
是说
inside
你
to
一个
interview
人
with
采
him.
访吗？
Why was that?
但
We're going to
是
ask
你
him.
突然间拉兰坡一起上来，那原因呢？
因为本来because support is Lampo, but I really want to go with Lampo and Dios, so I just wanna partner with me because I'm a 2v2 player.
So he's
원래는
relying on his teammate all the time, whether in game or out of game.
네, 같이 오고
With
싶었는데 이제
Diaz, of course,
원래
that's a soulmate.
람포 선수
Once a 2v2
인터뷰했으니까
player,
그래도
it's
같이
gonna
올라오는
be
게 맞다
forever 2v2
생각해서 지금
player.
같이
그렇군요.
올라왔습니다.
guy.
일단은 그러면 현재까지 진짜 디오스 스티치 선수와 마틴 선수의 2대 경기는 진짜 전승입니다. 이런 그 경기력을 보여줄 수
Dios Stitch
있었던
and Martin
이유가
was
뭔지
having all win
승리를
record
가져간
right now.
마틴 선수 말고 람포 선수가 봤을 때 이 두 조합이 센 이유가 뭔지
Well, you
한번
think
들어보고
maybe
싶어요.
Lampo's
我们想
opinions
问
on
兰坡
why Martin
你
and
觉
Dios
得
Stitch is looking so
Martin 还
strong
有
currently
Dios Stitch
undefeated
一
right now?
直全胜的那个秘诀是什么？你觉得原因是什么？
他们每天都相处在一起，包括吃饭，然后抽烟等等，然后
Oh, this one will be nice.
就默契也是相当好，就不会有太多失误。
네, 항상 뭐든지 함께 해가지고 그런 것 같습니다. 밥 먹든지,
I think it's because we do everything
담배를 피러
together, like
가든지
eating
할
together,
때도 항상 같이 있어서
going outside together. We're
그런
always
조화가
just
좀 잘
together.
이루어지지 않았나 싶습니다.
That harmony came in.
그러면은 마틴
for
선수가
that duo play.
팀원 같이
Literally makes
올라오지는
sense. I mean,
못했지만
synergy comes through
평소
out the game and
때
it comes,
내가
kind of reflects on the in the
디오스
game as well.
스티치에게
So.
해주고 싶었던 말, 뭐
And maybe you guys
고맙다던가
want to
아니면 뭐
say
이렇게 해서
something
좀
for
아쉬웠다던가
obviously the
코를
players
골지
and
말라던가 뭐
other
여러 가지
people who
이야기가
are
있을 수
cheering
있거든요.
out for you.
이 자리를 빌려서 디오스 스티치에게 한 말씀 좀
want to say
해주세요.
something to Dios Stitch, maybe.
你
Yeah.
平时有没有
maybe
话
some
想跟 Dios
disappointments
Stitch
you
说？
had to
比
each
如
other.
说呢，你的snore 太吵，等等，有没有话想跟他说？
Yeah, first time I see this guy, I really hate him. He's so annoying. But right now, I love you, man. Dios.
Oh man, that's what it is. Hate and love, love and hate. It doesn't matter. You know, I don't care what the order is, but you get the hate and love, man. The Dios Stitch and
뭔가
Martin
같이
looking so
지내보면
good
또
right now.
좋은 그런 사람들이 분명히 있기도 합니다. 자, 람포 선수 일단은 1대1에서 정말 멋진 경기 보여줬습니다.
Last question
두 번째
for
게임을
Lampo.
준비하면서 사실 저희가
He
박격포에
did
굉장히
very
깜짝
well.
놀랐었거든요.
The 1v1.
그 박격포에 대한 그런
And maybe,
자신감, 전
your
세계에서 내가
confidence
박격포는
on the
그래도
border
몇
that
위 안에
you
정도
can
들 수
see
있을 것
on another
같다.
level.
이런 게 좀 있을까요?
Your comments on that one.
你刚才玩的时候，你拿出那个 mortar，我们有一点很惊讶。你觉得你玩 mortar 的时候，你的那个次序 ranking 会是几高？有没有自信？
有自信吧，因为上次用 Mota 输给 Expo Master， 想说这一次再用 Mota 赢他们。
자신은 있습니다. 저번에 그 박격포를 써서 엑스포 마스터한테 졌었는데
Really confident. I lost
이번에
against Expo Master using that motor deck.
써서 이겨서 정말
But
좋습니다.
this time winning
어쨌든
against
세계적으로 봤을 때
his
본인이
teammate
높은
feels really
위치에
good.
있다라고 생각을 하고 있는 것 같습니다. 자, 이제는 양 선수에게 이제 공통된 질문이기는 합니다. 뭐 다른 대답이 나올 수도 있겠습니다만 이제 엔투스와 오젠 엔투스와 경기를 펼치게 될 텐데 드디어 어찌 보면 아시아에서 가장 또 알아주는 선수 하면은 TNT예요.
You were saying that
TNT에
TNT was one
대해서
of the
어느
more
정도
recognized
준비를 하고
player in
있는지
Asia.
어떤
You'll get
선수라고
to face
평가하고
up against
있는지
him.
그리고 각오까지
Plus
한번
what your
두부 선수에게
expectations are,
들어보고 마무리
determinations going to
지어보도록
that one.
하겠습니다.
我们想问你们俩，接下来你会跟那个 OGNantis 一起打，然后会见到 TNT， 你们对 TNT 的评价怎么样？然后你们对OGNantis 的那个决心如何？你们两个都会打。
赢是一定要的，然后 TNT 也是很强，然后玩的卡组也非常多，也是我从以前也看他影片到现在，也是我很尊敬的一个选手。
네, 이기는 건 당연히 이겨야 되는 거고요. TNT 선수는 정말 강하고 예전에 봤을 때부터
Certainly we do
덱도
have to win.
굉장히 잘
TNT is
쓰고
really
정말
strong.
제가
He has
존경하는
been known
선수 중 한 명입니다.
as the strongest player, so I
Really
would like to
surprised
beat
we
him
have
as
to
well.
face TNT right now. I didn't expect we're gonna face him because we only focus on one clown. So right now we're gonna study more with him. And as we know, I played a few games with him. He's a really strong player with very fast hand. So we're gonna study more from his deck. No sleep like tomorrow and now.
네, 이렇게 빨리 TNT 선수를 만나게 된다는 게 사실 조금 겁이 나기도 하는데요.
If it's good enough to
정말
beat Kings on
열심히
4,
준비하고
I don't
해서
see a reason why they should be able to
네,
beat OGN
이기겠습니다.
just
그리고
handily.
그동안 봤는데 정말 강한 선수라고 생각합니다.
아, 그렇군요. 역시나 사실 저희도 그렇습니다만 동남아 뭐 일본 팀들 전부 다 TNT 선수에 대해서 기대를 굉장히 많이 하고 있는데 또
Seems
어떤
like the
경기력이 나오게 될
players
것인지
abroad,
그를
all
준비하는
over,
또 킥스의 앞에 힘도
Asia
계속해서
seems to have
기대해
high
보도록
expectation for
하겠습니다.
TNT.
이렇게 해서
We'll be
인터뷰를
coming
일단은
up
마무리
very soon
지어보도록
here.
하겠습니다.
I'm sure he
다음번에
just
혹시라도
passed
또
his
기회가
birthday, so
되면은 디오스
he's eligible
그리고
to play in
마틴이
the
같이 나올 수 있는
Season2
자리가 꼭
now,
있었으면
so
좋겠다는 그런 생각이 들기도 하네요.
I
일단
think that's gonna be the
엔투스를
end of the
이겨야 그런
interview
자리가 또
for
생기지
these
않을까
two
생각이
players.
듭니다.
Fantastic
자, 이렇게
players
해서
as
인터뷰
always.
마무리 짓도록
Lampo
하겠고요.
and
저희
Martin
경기
just
결과
showing
다시
who
한번
is boss
살펴보도록 하겠습니다.
against the best team of Korea, Kings of DragonX.
Yeah, that's going to wrap up for the interview. And few things that stick out to me was hate and love.
Shit, man. Hey, it's the best kind. It really is. You know, when you get an overview and the results show you that you won against the best team of Korea. Kicks 4-0 against Kings of DragonX. Hate and love, do it all day, man. It's really working out.
Well, I don't know if he can do it all day, but certainly no sleep has been working out. The amount of practice, well, they actually have a team actually playing together, as you pointed out. All the wins onto the right side. 3-0 first day. Is it going to continue onto the second day, just like before?
It happened 2 weeks ago. 6 wins in a row in series for Southeast Asia last time. This is going to boost up their rankings so much here. Kicks still in last place, but maybe they're looking like the best team that we have here because it seems like Kicks, with the current roster that they have, with this 2v2 roster of Martin and Dio Stitch, and along with Lampo just dominating that 1v1 stage, that number 4 does not really reflect their current standing.
Because they're +2 and 2. And OGNantis, AHQ Esports Club did not get to play. Will be, I believe, the first ones to play tomorrow. But look at the numbers. Kicks, they're tied with Sandbox, basically. Few different numbers in scoring games, but that's the amount of difference we have to see. Very competitive. One more game could bring them up into second place, I think.
Yeah, really, that's what we're gonna get. We see Korea having a tough time. Speaking of having tough time, OGNantis having the most tough time, and
0-7.
they're going to have TNT back on the lineup, and we're going to see him making his debut probably for the very first time and having huge expectation all abroad. Of course, I got to stream with him, just seeing exactly how he was able to do as a player, and phenomenal that he is, but a very nice person as
He
well.
was supposed to come in from the beginning of the season, but you know the story.
Underage.
Yes, so we do have to have the age to come into the season. Come into the season, this league, and he just passed his birthday, so he's gonna come.
Just in the recent week.
Is it too late already? We're into week 6, half done with the entire league, 0-7. I think they need 7-0 now.
I think it might be too late to make a comeback to become the top team in Korea. Obviously, that's not going to happen for OG. Even if they did have TNT for the entire season, the other teammates are just lacking. It's just the other members have not been good enough to get the job done to become the best team in Korea. So, you know, with TNT coming back in the lineup tomorrow, it should be a very exciting day for OG, maybe to grasp that first win that they have been also waiting for this entire season.
And a few other Korean teams, because so far 0-3, and the nightmare is coming back, certainly, and they're playing in Korea. When they're playing in Korea in Season 1, they were having a lot better results, but it's not happening anymore. Japanese teams, also Southeast Asian teams, just so much better. And we're seeing this pattern where we are actually saying that Korean teams actually seems like the worst region at the moment.
The home ground buff is not seemingly a theme, but that's going to be it for us, guys. We're going to join you guys tomorrow for more Clash Royale League action, so join us then.